14. What should one do if your partner wants to get married, but you
Wait, do the power reset? I can't hear anything.
Okay. Okay. Forsen. What? No! Okay.
Been tweeted after Justice Brett Kavanaugh left a Washington restaurant due to protesters. The tweet reads, "Sounds like he just wanted some privacy to make his own dining decisions." Is that appropriate, sir?
Look, when public officials go into public life, we should expect two things. One, you should always be free from violence, harassment, and intimidation. And two, you're never going to be free from criticism or peaceful protest, people exercising their First Amendment rights.
Okay.
And that's what happened in this case. Remember, the justice never even came into contact with these protesters, reportedly didn't see or hear them. And these protesters are upset because a right, an important right, that the majority of Americans support was taken away.
Understood.
Not only the right to choose, by the way, but this justice was part of the process of stripping away the right to privacy. As long as I've been alive, settled case law in the United States has been that the Constitution protected a right to privacy, and that has now been thrown out the window.
Wait, what does this sentence mean? Is it okay for the KKK to pay $50 every sighting of AOC? What does that mean?
By justices, including Justice Kavanaugh, who, as I recall, swore up and down in front of God and everyone, including the United States Congress, that they were going to leave settled case law alone. So yes, people are upset. They're going to exercise their First Amendment rights. And as long as that's peaceful, that's protected. Compare that, for example, to the reality that as a country, right now, we're reckoning with the fact that a mob...
Oh. The group is paying $250 for justice sightings. Gotcha.
Summoned by the former president.
All right, well, let me follow up, Mr. Secretary.
The United States Capitol for the purpose of overthrowing the election and very nearly succeeded in preventing the peaceful transfer of power. But I think common sense can tell the difference.
But as a high-profile public figure, sir, are you comfortable with protesters protesting when you and your husband go to dinner at a restaurant?
Protesting peacefully outside in a public space? Sure. Look, I can't even tell you the number of spaces, venues, and scenarios where I've been protested. And the bottom line is this. Any public figure should always, always be free from violence, intimidation, and harassment, but should never be free from criticism or people exercising their First Amendment rights.
Dude, we're playing against Pokemon right now. Who's Pokemon? Sage? What the fuck? My homie just messaged me.
Wait, really?
Yeah, my homie messaged me.
I'm not gonna lie, because I played with Sage. Oh, Sage Pokemon one time. She's
Definitely
really.
my homie just messaged me like, I'm gonna shaft this Sage now.
You guys know what's up on the stream. I'll flash you then.
Yeah, they're again.
I gotta go egg.
Oh.
Shock chamber.
Let's go, team.
Oh my god, you're different, baby. You're different, Sova.
Come to prove that I am a strong, independent woman who don't need man to carry heavy stuff. Okay? This is the time. 3, 2, 1.
Makes money. And this gets salty, not just for the fact that it erases speech on the internet, but also because of the way that Twitch is hiding sexual assault and harassment allegations against much of Twitch's biggest partners, all in the name of protecting profits. The worst offenders in these allegations were given...
Hey! What the fuck? What the fuck is that? What the fuck? Dude, okay.
I'll pick so.
Ultimate accelerant here.
That's you. Hey, where's the audio on that? Holy shit.
I'm ready to go.
Let's go.
I'm still way behind you guys. Have to got this loot. Or should wait for me.
Wait, I hear somebody. I thought I... This guy crashed! Don't shoot him, bro. He crashed. Don't shoot him. Do not shoot him. Do not shoot him.
Where's his teammate?
I don't know.
Hit the fucking beacon.
I don't know. He 100% tapped out or crashed something. I don't know where his teammates are.
They're flying in right now.
Don't shoot him. It's scars. Don't shoot.
What if he's actually just standing there to bait?
Prove that I am strong. Strong, independent woman. Huh? Yeah. Thank you. Come to prove that I...
Hey!
Yo, I used to farm with Pico, and I know the tree limits. You can actually go really close to trees without taking damage.
Oh wow, yeah, you're really close. Yeah.
You guys crash?
No, we didn't. We're almost at the airfield.
Portland Normandale Park shooter charged with murder. Why do I care about this? What is even happening?
We will also keep men out of women's.
Obama.
Why do I feel like my volume is less?
You have the exact time and place.
This is stupid. Finish it, you fuck. We already finished it, you dumb fuck.
Oh my god.
What am I reading this for? Your ADHD is ruining every clip. I just don't like to sit through like 30 seconds of silence for like a 5 out of 10 at best joke at the end. It's just... President Sunday. I'm not watching President Sunday reviewing any of my shit. Okay, that dude is actually mentally ill. You going over the Xander Hall thing? Hell yeah, we're gonna watch that shit today. You better fucking believe it, boy.
What? Why? What's wrong?
My color's coming off. I'm turning
What
white.
the fuck?
What? Xan talked on Chud's stream today about the drama. Wait, is he not doing his own stream about it? People are actually saying Xander Hall was wrong to report to the cops. Yeah, people would say you're wrong to always go to the cops. He's gonna pre-record something. Oh, why not just do a live stream? Stream it. Come on, Xander Hall.
No, I gotta let you go. You wanna be better
No.
off someone new.
4,
No fucking Swedish.
2, 1.
You know it hurts me
Hey.
too.
Hey, I'm live. Don't say anything crazy.
So
Okay?
broken when you cry. One more and then I say goodbye. Sometimes all I think about is you. Late nights in the middle of June.
This is an English household.
Let me ask you something.
What?
When have I ever said anything crazy when we've been online?
American. No, American. Also, it's not about you saying something crazy. It's about you accidentally like saying something you wouldn't want on stream. It's a polite way of reminding. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, bye. I'm in the middle. Love you.
But I'm also live streaming too, though. So
Oh, wow.
I thought you knew this. It was like, in order for me to edit the video, I have to live stream it. Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. I just like to say it so that the other, because I've had a lot of people like, oh my god, I didn't know we were live.
They're amateurs. I'm a streamer, unless
okay.
you're dealing with crazy streamers, which. Okay, I'm not gonna say that, but.
Watch your step.
All right. Hold on a second. You got the questions out ready? Okay, because I'm gonna go ahead and
Watch your feet.
and start in a minute. Okay. All right, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What's up, taters? This is Tree from treeoflogic.com, and of course, I got my favorite guest back for the 3rd time. And this time we don't have any hostile questions towards him this time. So we're gonna do a Q&A, and let's go ahead and begin. But before I do, what's up, Steven? How you doing?
Nothing much, you know, just hanging out, doing my thing, doing what I do, you know.
Okay. All right, so you ready? Let's go ahead and get started with the first question. And and by the way, I mixed it up, and the reason I mixed it up is because we had more questions from men than women this time. So since we have more questions from men than women, I decided to mix them between each other instead of splitting them up with women first and men first. So I just mixed them all together. So the first one is, the first question is, if you meet a guy in person, exchange numbers, have a good first conversation, but he asks for your social media info, When is it a good time to give it to him? I think the first conversation is too early.
Who is this? Is this supposed to be advice to who? What kind of people?
Oh, I'm sorry. That's a female.
Or no, I just mean in general, like what, like.
Oh, that's to you.
Or okay, so here's my approach to relationships is that I like to get all the bullshit out of the way as early as possible. I like to live together as early as possible. I like to get all of that out of it because everything up till then is just a test, and you could fail at any point. So why not just move to the most extreme stage? So like, if I have like a social media where I'm posting a bunch of like crazy fucking shit, and I'm like, oh god, I don't want to show this person all the like insane stuff I post. I'll wait until the third date. Why would I get my hopes up and then on the third date I show them my Twitter and they're like, you're actually batshit insane. I'm never talking to you. And I'm like, well, fuck me. I shouldn't waste all this time, right? It probably depends a little bit on what you post on your social media too, but to be more broad, this is kind of a sad thing I notice. Men especially will do this. You get a lot of guys that'll say like, oh yeah, like when I go on dates, like I hide that I am like really into video games or anime or whatever. It's like, why the fuck would you hide like a major hobby from a potential dating partner? You're setting yourself up for failure because you're not going to be able to hide that throughout the entire relationship, you know?
Yeah. Okay. I actually don't disagree with that. So, okay, number 2, how do I protect myself from the games women play on men while on dating apps?
Games kind of has like a negative connotation. In some ways, we all kind of play these like social games. It's just like part of existence. So I mean, like, I don't know. You just like approach everybody in good faith, message people, talk to people, whatever. If there's like really dumb, annoying games that people play, which people do sometimes, I mean, obviously you can blow those people off, ignore those people, but I mean, otherwise it's all kind of like part of dating and getting to know somebody, right?
So you're saying that there's no really way to protect yourself because experience is going to be the best teacher? Because if you're new to the dating apps, you're not gonna know about the, what do they call that? The thirst trap pictures, Steven? Or the thing about, well, I need my rent. I don't know what the dating app thing is all about. So I'm just trying to.
Well, I mean, depending. Okay, hold on. Well, there's some games you should never play. If a girl is like asking you to send her money or some shit on Tinder, you never do that, right?
Okay.
Or if somebody only has like one picture posted, it's a group of like friends, and obviously don't fall for that shit. I mean, those types of games are like, that's a different.
Yeah, well, because I never use the dating app. So if you could, you know how these games are played. Can you at least name the 3 most popular type of quote-unquote games that people will play on dating apps?
The 3 most popular types of games. When I think of games.
Well, hold on. Go over the one with the group picture. I never heard that one.
Oh yeah. Okay. Sorry. Hold on. So some of these are a little different. When somebody says games, I'm usually thinking they're talking about like different types of ways of approaching conversation. So like somebody might call it a game where like a woman gives you kind of short responses to see, because she's messaging like 100 guys to see who's the most interesting one. That may be like a kind of like a game maybe.
Okay.
Those other things I would call like tricks or traps. So like somebody that's posting like from the selfie angle, the picture from above, so you can't tell how much they weigh. Or people that only post pictures with like friends, so you don't know exactly which one is in the picture. I don't know, like this weird plausible deniability, like stuff like that. Those would be like tricks or traps, not just like little social games.
Okay. All right. So I thought games was something playing around, not being serious. So okay. So okay, I guess it's like game if you got swagger or if you got a good. I don't know. I don't know. All right. Here's the third one. This is a question for you and me. Been dating my man for a year. I moved into his house 2 months ago when he asked me to marry him last month. His daughter's mother dropped off their only child and disappeared. I hate this little girl with a passion. I want out, but am I wrong?
You're never wrong with the way that you feel. Your feelings are never wrong, generally. That's always like a good guide. But yeah, you should probably leave. Yeah, you should leave. I'm of the opinion that if you're dating somebody that already has a child, that you having an antagonistic or negative view towards that child is like one of the most disgusting things you could do to a person as a human being. So I think you should get the fuck out. And it's a red flag if the dad is like willing to have you around while you like hate his child.
Exactly.
I mean, that's my feeling, but I mean.
I'm gonna say absolutely get out, because here's the deal. Like, the mother is doing this to punish you. That's fine. Do you have to first of all, daughters love their fathers, sons love their mothers. You are actually an enemy to her, and even though there's a strong chance that she's never gonna get her parents back together, still, with you there, she's gonna do everything to sabotage that relationship, and she's going to make sure that she used the daddy little girl thing up on you. Also,
Wait. Who's gonna try to sabotage the relationship? The child or the mother?
both. You never heard of that, where if the daughter hates the stepmother, that she just...
I think it's gonna depend a lot on like ages. If we're talking about like a 15 or 16-year-old, maybe, but if the child's like 3 or 4 or 5, I don't think they're gonna be.
That's true, and we don't know.
Yeah, the age is pretty important
here. Yeah. Okay, that's a good point. But
there's a lot of dynamics we don't know here either. Like,
yeah.
If the husband is like 45 and the wife is like 23,
right,
then that would be weird, or not weird. I shouldn't say weird. It's okay, but it would like it would add a different dynamic. If the mother's never seen that other child before, another child's seeing him, that would like. So actually, yeah, there's a lot more information here that we don't know. But
yeah,
I don't think you should ever like punish children for like their parents being weird. I think it's gonna be.
Absolutely, don't like just get out, because she never asked to be in that position. And if you have resentment towards her, I personally don't want this to happen where you start doing something vindictive towards her. Just get out of the situation, and I know the fact that she's engaged, that's going to be a little hard for her, but this is one of these things you're just going to have to just cut your losses at this early stage.
Yeah, actually, this advice is totally worthless if she's not going to do it. Because if she's already been dating the guy for a year, they've moved in for 2 months, and now they're gay. The real question is, why the fuck are you with the guy if his kids bother you so much and you knew he had kids the whole time?
True. I guess she didn't think that the mother would do something like drop the child off and just go, bye, I'm about to live my single life, I guess most women would never think that. Like, when they get into a relationship with a man with kids and they move in with them, the woman doesn't think that the mother would do something so horrid as just to abandon. This is abandonment, She's abandoned her child with the father and just gone off.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know what else is, what other dynamics are going on.
Yeah, okay. Number 4, let's see. When clean shaved, this is a very interesting thought-provoking question. When clean-shaven men were the norm in the past, the clean-shaven men were more masculine than the men today with beards, which is now the social norm. Men wearing male buns, skinny jeans, and manga t-shirts with beards are far from masculine. Make men masculine again, but how?
Something that everybody fucked up on, including and especially conservatives, was giving us like good representations of what masculinity means. I don't know why, but nobody seems to understand this. Like, as much as I might hate like the ranting and raving feminists or whatever, I think that there is a really good point to be made about toxic masculinity, and I think that the people that know this best are conservative women that try to date conservative men that are all giant fucking man babies. They think that either because they're loud or they try to act alpha for some reason that makes them alpha or that makes them a manly man, but they can't take care of their lives, they can't take care of their houses, they can't fucking hold down stable jobs, they have no respect for their partners, they think that like being the head of the household means that the woman's a slave. Like, so yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, in terms of like where do you find like positive representations of masculinity or like bringing back masculinity? I don't know what the answer is. Like, if I knew, I'd fix society and like make $1 trillion. But don't be tricked by people that like run around with this like insane bravado, screaming and pretending like, oh wow, this is what we all need in our lives.
Yeah. What do you think is masculine to you? I think it's subjective, correct? Like.
I mean, like, I think that a lot of the like traditionally masculine traits are pretty good. I mean, like, I don't know if I would necessarily say they have to only be masculine. Like, women could theoretically have them too. But I mean, like, having like some level of like honor and integrity, being able to keep your word, being able to hold a schedule, representing some type of like emotional stability in your life, being able to take care of another person. I think all of these things should be like positive hallmarks of.
Shockwave.
Okay. Number 5. Why are the rules on crying keep changing? Are men allowed to cry without being shamed? I thought it was okay for men to cry. I keep seeing mixed messages on this.
Okay, so
Watch your step.
there's like this weird thing that happens where women's for some period of time, people kept saying that women wanted men that cried a lot.
I never said that.
I don't think that's true, but I think what people wanted was people wanted men that were more emotionally in tune, because a lot of the traditional like masculine types were emotionally autistic. Like these people that could like never have an intimate conversation with their children or even their romantic partners. These people that like bottled all their emotions in until they either took it out by beating the shit out of their wives or just being a schizoid loser their entire life who could never have like anything right. I think that those types of like traditionally like toxically masculine people are very bad. That's bad. You don't want that. But then I think people kind of ran off too far in the other
Watch your
direction,
step.
where they're like, oh yeah, like I think the cool thing would actually have men that are like pussies that cry all the time about everything. And I don't think anybody wants that either. I think like the goal is you want a guy that is like pretty emotionally stable, that can create space in a relationship for both you and his emotions, and is able to have like an emotional back and forth that you feel like you can communicate some thought to him, and he's not just going to stare at you slack-jawed because he's using words that he doesn't understand. Like I feel.
Yeah, I never, and it's just me. I just want to say this is just me. I never wanted. I think I never wanted a crying man, and I do lose respect. And I learned this in college. If a man cries for what I would consider stupid reasons, like when I was in college, and I broke up with this guy. He was literally crying, begging me, which was. It was so humiliating for him because I lost more respect for him, just bawling like that and crying like that for that reason.
Wait, what was he crying like that for? What?
Because I broke up with him and he wanted me to
Who
not
the fuck
do that.
cares if you broke up with him? Why the fuck would he care about your opinion at that point? Wait, I lost respect for him. You already fucking broke up with him. Who the fuck cares if you respect him or not?
But I mean, come on now. We could be friends. I didn't even want to be his friend.
You can't be a
after that,
friend. Yeah, no shit. You can't be friends. Not if you fucking dump them. What are you thinking?
Yes, you can. You can be friends with somebody if you dump them.
No.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Are you saying you never been friends with someone you dumped?
You're not. You can be friendly, but being friends is very hard. If you're the person. You don't have a friend. You have a dick in reserve at that point. Okay. That guy's just waiting. That guy is waiting for you. That guy is waiting for you to come back to him. Okay, when you dump your next boyfriend. That's what's going on.
Okay. Point proven. But like when a man cries when his dog dies or his family dies or he sees a child suffering. When I was on the police force, I saw that a lot, and nobody thought less of these men because everybody hates to see a child suffer. But I don't to go to the movies and cry at some heart-wrenching scenes. I don't know. I guess I'm a little hard like that because I was like the last part of my childhood, I was raised by a male. I tend to have a little bit. We already know I tend to have more of a masculine type of personality. So if I don't do a lot of crying, I don't expect my man to do that as well. So okay.
Yeah, I mean, I can, and I don't think anybody really wants that, regardless of what some people might say. Nobody wants somebody that's like crying all the time. But you just want somebody that can have the ability to have that like emotional space.
Yeah, right. Destiny, what are the benefits of being in a poly relationship and what are the downfalls?
I mean, the benefits are you get to fuck multiple people, and the downfalls are you got that much more drama. Isn't that kind of the point?
Is the drama worth the multiple partners, the different partners?
I mean, I would say it is, but I mean, I would say that all relationships are fucking drama. That's what it seems to be.
Do they though?
Yeah. I don't know it's very rare that like how many people in your life,
Define
maybe
drama.
you know, how many people in your life do you know like, oh yeah, like I'm in a relationship with this guy, it's been great for like years and everything's like super cool. It feels like everybody's life today is fucked. So.
Every relationship has challenges.
No, I'm not talking challenges. I'm talking about insane motherfuckers everywhere. They're looking at. They're all over the place. Motherfuckers are crazy out here.
I would like to ask this question personally. How do you deal with the women that you pick in a poly that knows you're a poly, but they want to replace your wife?
It's good when I get to the curb. That shit, right?
Absolutely, you kick them to the curb. Do you see their intentions immediately, or do you see it later on? Like,
some people are really good at hiding their intentions. Other
okay.
people figure out pretty early. It just depends.
All right. Okay. All right. Number 7. When is it okay to keep secrets from your wife or girlfriend?
Watch your feet.
I mean, ideally you never would, but I think that that question I think is too big. I think it's gonna vary from relationship to relationship, and I don't even know what the right answer is. It's gonna come down a lot to individual values too. So, like for instance, like a common one that a girl might face is like your partner asks you like how many guys have you been with, like you give the right answer. I don't know if there's any.
We haven't gotten to that part yet.
Oh, is that a?
Yeah.
Oh shit, sorry. I didn't know this, but that would be an example of like a question like, do you answer it honestly? Because it seems like something bad can come from it. The guy isn't like learning anything or gaining anything valuable by you telling him, like, I don't know. Ideally, you would have partners that you could be like honest and open about it. That's the ideal, but I don't know how.
You can't think of one thing that you would keep a secret. I mean, would that get you in trouble?
Well, I mean, I'm literally in a relationship, so no, but. No, I mean, yeah, I mean, the hope would be that you like could be open about it. That would be ideally, right?
That's a good question. I should have thought about. Well, this was directed to you, so I never had to ponder about it. So, I think there would be maybe something like not a secret, but something you just don't voluntarily offer as information unless it's asked.
Yeah, sure, but does that count as a lie at that point?
Target you.
Lie by omission, right?
Well, are you omitting it if you never ask about it?
No. Okay.
Here,
right.
you know, here's a general rule of thumb that's sad, but it's true. Here's something that I would say is a general rule of thumb. If you've ever done something sexually that you tried once and you didn't really like it, you don't want to do it again, don't ever tell your partner that. Because 99% of the time, you're going to end up like breaking up over it. So if your partner like really wants a threesome and you've tried like a threesome before in the past, you're like, you know, I tried it, didn't like that much. All that guy is hearing when you say that was, I love this part, we have to do this, but I'm not doing it. Don't ever do shit like that.
Yeah, that's true. Why are men eager when it comes to sex? Because if you know, there's some couple of questions in here, and it's just like, wow, men, and when it comes to the sexual experience of women or what they have done, their egos is really fragile. It's like a double standard. Like, but hold on, I guess we'll get to that in a minute. We'll get to that part in a minute. Number 8. In a manosphere, how do you separate the DL gay men, red pillars, who hate women, from the jaded men who hate women, from the men who don't hate women, but want to sincerely help men learn the game? There's that word game again.
I don't know, it's probably going to come down to like how they talk about people's motivations. So like I don't know, that's it. I don't know if I could give like a 2-minute crash course on how to tell the difference. You kind of have to be familiar with like all the different types of rhetoric and all the different things that people say, and then you can start to pick out like who likes women versus who doesn't like women. So like if somebody is like, oh, like women tend to prefer men that are more financially stable, like you could say that in multiple ways. You'd be like, oh, you know, women tend to prefer men who are financially stable because it's often goes well for them. They can have kids and all that, and they'll feel like they'll have stability. Or you can be like, you know, women are like lazy fucks who need like high value men that make a ton of fucking money because they're never gonna work or whatever.
Yeah, that's BS actually.
You can tell, like, I guess, like, once you've heard enough, you can start to tell that, like, some of the advice comes from a place of, like, understanding and compassion, and sometimes it just comes from a place of, like, jaded hatred. But you kind of have to listen to a lot of those different.
When men get into a relationship, especially if they're new with dating, and they get, quote unquote, got, they just get played by women. They get hurt, and then they probably don't even have a friend that can relate. And so they go to these channels, and it makes them, it turns that hatred, it turns that incident into a hatred, like, you know, these women ain't shit, you know, I don't want to deal with them. And then it's now like, what was the famous thing, like pump and dump, instead of seeking out a meaningful relationship. And when these men are inexperienced, which is, we have a very good question that's going to get to that part too, they just don't know how to deal with that the emotions of being rejected, or even if they found out that the girl that they were dating for the first time has another boyfriend. How do they like heal from that in a healthy way instead of in a dysfunctional way, to where they start hating women and just want revenge on women because of what some stupid girl did to them?
There's like a lot of this doesn't really have much to do with like women in general. I think this is like a broader life thing.
Okay.
Where when bad things happen, you have to learn to like separate out, like, okay, well, this was a bad thing, but it doesn't mean I have to hate all of this type of person or all of this type of thing. I think there's going to be like broader coping mechanisms that are going to be at play there, rather than just like rather than just like like it's easy to get jaded by something and hate all of that. So like for instance, like I think political, like a lot of racism or sexism or whatever isms can come from this, right? I have a bad experience with a black person, I hate all black people. I have a bad experience with you know, a teacher, I think teachers are horrible. I've got you know, if you ask me about airlines, I really want to tell you like, oh my god, XYZ is the worst airline. Well, why is that? Because they have one bad experience.
Yeah.
Like, everybody has an airline that they think is like the worst airline, but it's not because of like this collection of data and studies and all these experiences, because they have one bad experience, you know? So I mean, like I think there's like a broader general life question of like, how do you get over a bad experience without letting one singular bad experience define that entire like classification of experiences for you? And that skill that you pick up is independent even of relationships. Relationships is one area where that can help you, but also, and then I guess kind of broadly on that same stroke, getting more experience is really important. If you have like one bad experience, you have to keep going out and getting more. Otherwise, that one bad experience will destroy you. And I've seen a lot of people who do that, and I can usually pick them out instantly because you can tell how they respond to a bad experience. The most common thing, actually, in my world is with streaming. When somebody streams and they get like their first big negative drama or something, my advice to that person is always listen. No matter what you do, no matter how you, what the fuck you do, like within a week, you need to keep streaming. You have to keep going. You have to.
Don't stop. Yeah. Don't make a video like, guys, I'm sorry, I gotta
a break and blah blah.
I gotta take a break.
No.
And don't do
because
that.
if you do that, and I've seen this happen time and time and time, if you do that, you won't come back and you'll be destroyed. You'll be done. Yeah, you'll be over. You're like Maverick, Top Gun, except he goes back. Yeah, you have to keep pushing forward.
Yeah. It's gonna happen if you're going to be a decent streamer, or even if you aim to be big, people are gonna come after you. It's just you just have to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? The earlier you deal with it, the better. Okay, Destiny, this one is very interesting. I did not know this about you, Destiny. Why do you have a thing for super skinny girls? And I also have something in quotations just in case you deny this.
Yeah, is it Bad Bunny?
It's Bad Bunny, Anna, and that's it.
Okay, first of all, so only one of those people was super skinny, and Bad Bunny was not super skinny when I first met him. I don't have a thing. I like all sorts of shapes. I've been with all sorts of kinds of women, not just super skinny women.
Oh, dude, I saw a picture of your wife. She looks great. She's lifting and she's getting her bicep development. I'm like, whoa, she's looking good. So that's why I was surprised. I'm like, he doesn't like super skinny girls, because I saw I can't pronounce her name.
Melena.
Because yeah, I'm so used to saying Melania that when I try to say your wife's name, it just comes out. I just say Mel. You know
that works too.
Okay, all right. 10. But tell her she looks great. Tell her to keep it up, and
I'll let her know.
Okay. Number 10. Would you really move to Sweden? Oh, speaking of that, number 10. Would you really move to Sweden with your wife if she asked you to? If so, for how long? If not, why?
Probably not, because I like moving to Europe would mean I don't play games with any of my friends anymore. It'd be really hard to visit Nathan on like trips. I don't think so. More likely to move back to Nebraska than Sweden, probably.
Really?
Yeah, what the fuck? It's my kid. Why would I leave the country instead of just moving back home?
Okay. Yeah, I forgot about your son. Sorry. I was thinking, when you said Nebraska, I'm thinking about Nebraska itself, you know.
Oh, no. Fuck no. Jesus fucking Christ.
I didn't think about your son.
Yeah, no. I would only... Sorry. Oh, yeah, I guess I forgot this one. Yeah, no. Fuck no. I would never just live in Nebraska willingly, but...
Okay. All right. What do you think about men who laugh at their girlfriend? Oh, I'm definitely going to chime in on this one. What do you think about men who laugh at their girlfriend crying in pain, especially on camera?
What is the... I need context.
I
like,
think
if your girlfriend gets like hit by a car and you're like laughing at her, you're probably a piece of shit.
This guy is referring to the Mr. Girl guy.
Okay, Mr. Girl's in a box in and of itself. I don't know if I would like... I can't tell about those interactions. I don't know. That's a hard one. Seems like it's probably not a good thing, but yeah, I don't know. It's hard to tell.
I don't think it's a good thing. Men are, and I know this is your crowd, but I have to say it I know some people in your crowd don't believe this, but this is what I believe, and science backed me up. On average, men are physically stronger.
You don't think my crowd believes that?
Well, I keep hearing that gender is a social construct and that men can participate in women's sports and, trans women can participate in women's sports if they are on. So I don't want to get into that conversation, but that's what
I think most of my audience and me broadly agrees that men are on average stronger than women.
So since men are physically stronger, women have to use emotions to express their pain. And I will admit that women will use crying as manipulative. For example, and I'm going to use you as an example, Stephen, when you was going through that entire Anna drama, oh, I was here for that, baby. I was like, this is some good juicy tea, right? One day I tuned into your stream and there was another woman, I don't know her name, but you and her were dating, and she was upset that you were not close to her or keep giving her attention like you used to. And you said, listen, and it was such a great response from you. You was like, listen, I can't be there for you like I used to anymore. I got a lot of things going on. I'm sorry, but if that's what you expect from me, you could just not be my friend anymore. You could just get rid of me. And she didn't want to let go. And then she resulted to crying, and you just sat there and continued playing League. And you didn't feed into it. You didn't laugh at her. You just let her cry, because in my opinion, her crying was she's losing a friend, but it was also a way to get you to be sympathetic to her, to cave to her demands. And so when I saw that, I was like, that is how a man is supposed to react when a woman is hurting, but also could be manipulative. I'm not saying that's the case with Shaylin. I'm just saying that this is when I saw somebody react with a woman crying, but not beating her because she's now in the that woman was in the loser seat. I don't mean to be disrespectful, but she was in a loser seat, okay? And so why bully her? Why beat down someone that's already on the ground by laughing at them? So I agree when a woman, if you're the bigger man, if you're emotionally stable, if you're emotionally mature, you don't laugh at a woman when she's crying. That makes you look like a piece of shit. And so that's my opinion in reference to the whole laughing when men laugh at women crying. You know what I'm saying? If the woman crying is not affecting you, you just act like you're not affected. But to me, when you try to show that you're the bigger person by laughing at that pain, because women, we have to, it's like a child. When a child is crying, you immediately go to that child and they go, I lost my mommy, and you want to help. Women do the same thing. It's not always manipulative. Women can cry because they feel helpless. And I think men who just, you talking about toxic masculinity, for a man to laugh at a woman while she's crying, it just makes him, you know, it just makes him a bastard in my opinion.
Okay. That's it, yeah.
So let's move on to 12. Do you think you are good at following the advice you give others?
Fuck no. I make a lot of mistakes continuously. But I think that's probably the case with everybody. Like, most of the good advice, I think I have a lot of good advice and stuff, but most of my good advice is going to come from, like, the mistakes I've made. Like, I think I could do, like, PR or media for most companies better than most PR people could do. Like, I can usually see in advance, like, if I don't know why they tweeted or said this, because the response is so predictable. But the reason why I know that is because I've usually done all of it before, right? Like, I know that if you do this thing, like, you're gonna be fucked. Or I know that if you respond this way, you're gonna be, because I do this all the time. Now the difference is I'm usually not representing like a major brand or something, so I don't care as much. But like, yeah, most of my advice will come from like, have you ever heard of the saying that OSHA, like every OSHA regulation is like built in blood or something? Like anytime you see a sign that says like don't do this or be careful for that, it's because somebody probably died doing it. Like that would be like the advice that I would give.
Okay.
If somebody's like, you know what, should I do this or whatever, like absolutely not. And like, really? Because I've seen you do that before. I know, that's why I'm telling you not to do it. Like, you know.
So would you say you're more of the do as I say, not as I do type of person?
No, I don't like that saying, because I think that saying implies that there is some person that like is perfect out there. I don't think anybody's perfect. I think everybody like makes mistakes. Like I have like ideals that I aspire to, but I mean like there's a reason why they're called ideals, right? It's an idealized version, and like nobody's gonna be an idealized person. It's not like everybody makes mistakes. It's fine. You just do your best.
Okay. All right. Let's move on to number 13. Destiny, how would you navigate through today's dating world if you were 18 through 20 again?
I don't know. You're always best like meeting people in places where you guys like naturally are like cohabitating, kind of like or cohabitating might just mean living together, but like meeting people at work or school is probably still like your best bet. Outside of that, I wouldn't be able to tell you. I have no idea. I don't go to bars or anything like that, so I'd be a bad person to ask for advice on that shit.
Okay, and that's okay. 14. What should one do if your partner wants to get married, but you've stated, and I'm gonna answer on this one too. Sorry, let me repeat that. What should one do if your partner wants to get married, but you've stated that you don't want to get married?
That's a pretty easy one. Then you break up.
Right.
Fundamental incompatibility.
Maybe it's my experience, this could be anecdotal, but I've noticed that when women get with men and they say they want to get married, you know what I'm saying, and the man said, I don't want to get married, women tend to think, oh, if I give him some good sex, if I cook him some right food, if I show him I'm a good, loyal wife, I make a good, he'll change his mind. And I think that's why they don't break up immediately. And I believe that a woman will try to manipulate a guy or do an ultimatum. And sometimes, I don't know, have you seen a man I've never seen in my personal experience where a man eventually just get broken down and agree to marry a woman. I've seen stupid women do this and stay in a relationship with a guy for 8 years, and then all of a sudden the guy has a heart attack or he gets in a car accident, and then she's by his bedside and he was like, well shit, I can't take care of myself that well, I'm gonna need somebody help. Okay, I'll marry you. And it's like, and I'm thinking like, whoa girl, this is silly. And then they get married, come to find out that he finds another woman who can do a better job than her, and then the marriage was just, it never worked out anyway.
Yeah, I'm like a big fan of like, especially like when you're past like age 25, I think you're done. I think past 25, you're pretty done, like changing as a person. You should know what you want. People that are, people that think that they can like find somebody and change them or turn them into something else. I mean, like when you're 18 or 19, like you're still both growing and changing, so like maybe.
Yeah.
But once you've hit like a certain age, like when you're into your 20s, like I think you look for people that you're compatible with, and you don't have this pretty naive idea that like you can change them into being something totally different. I don't think that's gonna happen.
They say 28 is when your foundation is rock solid. Like it's really hard to change. I don't know why that age is. I was reading a study on it, and I don't know why they picked that age, but that was the age when people are like set in their ways for the most part. And if they don't want to get married or they don't believe in marriage, they just morally don't. Have you ever been that way? Have you ever been to the point where you never believed in marriage when you were young?
5.
Yeah, I've just
4,
never. Well, since I was
3,
not religious, so
2,
16, 17.
1.
Okay. All right, let's.
Just because some people in chat are saying this, I would even disagree with Tree's age. And I see someone saying 32 seems to be the upper bound. If you meet somebody who is like 26 years old and they're like a slob, they don't know how to do laundry, that whatever, like this person, like that, this person is not changing. I'm sorry, I don't think so. Unless you're willing to like
keep hating
do,
your life,
like,
then working class and
basic training or some shit, like go to the military or do like some major life change. I don't think that. I think that those people are kind of.
Hey,
like
Destiny,
upset,
I've been banned from your Discord in
What age
2020
would
for
you-
defending
what
me as a
age would you
battalion.
take
I don't want to get banned. I just want.
What age would I'd say around 25, maybe even a little younger, is going to be worth. I personally think that like your major personality traits, I think are all pegged in at around like I'd say 16, 17, maybe even as young as 15. Like you're going to see kind of like where like this is the blueprint of what the person's going to become. That's like one thing. But once a person is like in their 20s, like 25, I think that you have like, I think that person is who they are basically. I think it's very, very rare that you meet somebody at 25 and then you see them again at 30 and they're like, oh my God, I totally changed my life. It happens. It's just very, very, very rare. And you're going to be throwing your life away if you try to get into a relationship with somebody like that to change them. I just think it's a bad thing. Just setting yourself up.
What's your step?
15. Describe what you think a healthy relationship with porn would look like.
I mean, one, it has to be one that your partner is accepting of. So that's like the most important part.
Oh, would that be a secret you keep?
What's your step?
I mean, that depends on the type of relationship. Because some people would consider that cheating. So I mean, like, depending on how severe the other person looks at it, so would you cheat on your partner, I guess, and keep that a secret?
Well, men, I'm not being sexist here, but for the most part, porn is consumed mostly by men, right?
Yeah.
So if men were into, I'm not saying they should do this, but if men were into some really crazy categories, if they told their significant other, it would probably make that woman say, peace, dude, you too crazy for me.
That might be true. We might have totally different lived experiences, but I've gathered this data like so much anecdotally, and I understand it could be wrong, but it really does feel like the overwhelming amount of time, it's starting to feel more and more like women are more sexual than men are. they're just more selective with their partners.
Yes.
Like when I read like dead bedroom stuff or people that have problems with sexual relationships, and I've heard so many times from women over and over and over and over again, like, oh, like my partner, the guy that I'm dating, never wants sex as much as I do. I hear that a million times.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. So I mean, like if you
But
are
they
in
don't
a
have to
system,
go to. But what about so when men are going to porn because they're not getting enough sex, or is it because they want to look at a certain type of quote unquote category sex that they know they can't participate in real life?
it could be porn addiction, it could be that. It could, I mean, it could be a large variety of things. So that's going to vary.
So what would a healthy relationship with it be like for this question?
I mean, I would say one that your partner is okay with. Whatever they're okay. If
Okay.
your partner's like, yeah, fucking go
But
for
what
it
if they're
5 times a
single?
day, then fucking go for it. If they're single, and then as long as you're not like missing work or something, because you're masturbating to like, knock yourself out.
No, that answer is not good. So you mean tell me if they're single and they're watching it because you're working from
Watch your
9 to
segue.
5. So you mean to say if they are watching it from 7 to 4 a.m. That's
probably
good?
a little excessive, I'd say. I don't know what the hour timeline I
Okay. Number 16. Are men really that stupid to think? Oh, this is a good one.
Everybody's that stupid.
Are men really that stupid to think that mileage on men is more acceptable than sexual mileage on women? Do men not know that women can lie about the number of sexual partners she had unless they are a size queen? These guys will never know.
Yeah, true, they could lie. I mean, like, without getting too much into the dynamics of this, I mean, the reason why people view it a little bit differently is because it's a I don't know how much I want to get into this conversation. I hate to
Get
use,
into it.
yeah,
Get
I hate to
into
use
it.
this saying. Have you ever heard that like a master key is a key that can open all locks? Just good.
Yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, like if you're a guy and you've like had sex with a lot of women, for men, and a lot of men. So here's something like red pillars and all these people. They'll never acknowledge this, okay? But for men, especially the men that hate women, the most important form of validation you get in your life is from a woman. That's always the case.
Yeah.
A guy with multiple women around him, or a guy that can fuck multiple women, it's like the ultimate form of validation to that man and to the men around him. Like, yeah, I'm so cool, I fucked 10 women. And every other guy's like, oh my god, 10 women have let you fuck, that's amazing. For women, it's not like that same dynamic doesn't exist, because any woman could theoretically fuck hundreds of men in even a month. She could do 3 a day on and she would do like that. So, I mean, that's one of the reasons why people look at it a little bit differently. For the second thing, I don't know why this is the case, but I'm not going to say that women never get insecure, but it seems like a woman is okay being with a guy that's been with other women, but when men think about their partner being with other men, they like lose it. They have like a huge problem. Yeah, they have a huge problem. They start running into all sorts of like weird comparisons and shit in their mind.
Is that insecurity? Because why would you care unless you think that the other men that she had prior to you were better at satisfying her? Like, I don't understand the purpose of it. I'm trying to understand, like, why do you care? Okay, now don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I totally get it if you don't. No, I still can't get it, because the thing about it is that, like, unless she's been blown out and like, you know, you having sex with her is like entering the Grand Canyon.
Okay, also, hold on, real quick, that's not how that works. That's not how vaginas work, but go ahead.
Well, I mean, I'm just being hyperbolic here. I'm just saying, like, unless something about her shows that she has. No, I can't even say that, because I know some courtesans, and we have had that talk. And
then how do you explain your mom being so popular?
Men would never know. And also, they have, let's say, even when they have a baby, they're able to have surgery. I forgot what it's called.
You don't need surgery to have a baby. Your vagina will go back to how it was.
Well, they still get the surgery. Then why did they get the surgery then?
The only surgery you'll get is if you have any tears or whatever during, like, delivery. Sometimes that happens.
No, these are women, and there have been celebrities, and I can give you some articles about it, who will brag. For example, I hate to put this woman on blast because I really don't like her. Jada Pinkett Smith, right? When she had her, I forgot what she called it, entanglement with the other younger guy. She even said that she had to go because he was so big that she had to go and get, I think it's called vaginoplasty. I could be mispronouncing that.
No.
So she's lying?
Yeah. Your vagina
What?
produces
How
children.
do you know she's lying?
Because that's just not how vaginas work. It doesn't make any sense. That means that every guy that has sex with a woman for like a year, like here, like this is like the man brain when it comes to vagina, and I guess some women's brain. The guy would be like, if you fuck 10 different guys, your vagina's gonna be loose and nasty. But if I fuck you 100 times, it's gonna go back to being tight this way. Like it doesn't even make sense, right? Like, it does it like scan a key card every time a new dick comes in and it stretches. Like it doesn't even make sense. It's
So
not how
you
vaginas
don't
work.
believe in this size queen thing that this person is saying?
I think there are some women that are size queens. Some women are very much like, yeah, I want like a 9-inch dick or whatever. But I mean, those women are pretty rare. Like that's not the
Watch your
average
step.
woman.
No, it's not. And it's not 9,
Watch
it's
your
10
step.
inches. No,
You're
I
different.
know-
You're like 10 feet tall, so okay, of course.
No, I'm not a size
Yeah.
queen. I'm not a size queen. I have a friend who's a size,
Short
and she's shorter than me. So yeah.
Watch your
So
step.
there. Are you? And I noticed, and I'll say this with confidence. I know there's a lot of short women who are
Watch your
size
step.
queens. Okay, number 17. Do you think hookup culture will start to slow down the Roe
Watch your step.
versus Wade being overturned?
No. It's
Why
that,
do
that's
you
like
think
saying
that?
like, do you think that like if we increase punishments for certain crimes, will the crimes go away? No, like when people are doing things that they're not supposed to, they're not thinking of the negative
Watch
consequences.
your feet.
Nobody's fucking a woman thinking like, all right, well, I could get this bitch pregnant, but we can just go get an abortion. People are thinking she's not gonna get pregnant. Same thing when somebody's robbing a gas station. They're like, okay, well, I've got 2 priors. If I get a conviction here, I might be looking at 5 to 10. Maybe not. Maybe like nobody's thinking of it that way, right? Like they're thinking of like they're not gonna get caught. So no, I don't think people are making decisions based on the punishments or what opportunities are available to them for like abortion. I don't think that's the case.
Okay.
Watch your feet.
Number 18. Describe what a normal friendship with girls is, because I can't tell if I am friends with girls because I like their attention or because I like being with them.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a really hard one. I think about that one all the time. I'll let you know when I find an answer.
Okay. Well, most of these came from your crew anyway, so when you do find an answer, make sure you tell it. 19. Would you consider the solution to the incel problem is to legalize prostitution? Have these quote-unquote ladies teach you some game as well?
Hold on, wait, real quick, because I got a lot of dumb fucks that are messaging me now and shit about like, well, what about in these countries where in Brazil and in Egypt there is a death penalty and in China they blah blah blah. The reason isn't because of the punishments there; it's because it's enforced to get caught there. I think that's the difference. Nobody like you can look at states across the United States and look at like differences for like how harshly things are punished. Like look at like people talk about the death penalty in Texas all the time. You guys execute like 500 motherfuckers a year in that state. It doesn't seem like it's helping at all. I think that in general, people don't connect the action that they're doing with the potential outcome of punishment. But if there's some place that like punishes something harshly, it usually means they're enforcing or trying to catch people that are more harshly as well. And then usually that's going to be why that people get like it just makes everything a little bit more difficult. But it's not going to be because a person is like, oh well, you know, I could like this is a guess, okay? This is going to be a guess I have. Could be wrong, okay? I've never been to China before. I've been to South Korea, but I've never looked for drug there. My guess is going to be that like if I want to find weed in California, I can probably find weed in California. Finding weed in another one of these countries, though, especially these Asian countries where it's like ultra illegal, it's probably a lot more difficult. So when people are like, oh yeah, well of course you don't smoke weed in South Korea, you're gonna go to jail. Well, no, that's not really the reason why I wouldn't smoke weed there. It's gonna be because it's really hard to find, right? People aren't connecting it with like the punishment. It's just that like the overall like attitude of enforcement towards something is gonna make those things probably harder to find, I would guess. Yeah.
So you're saying punishment is not going to deter them?
I don't think so, because I don't think people
Because nobody goes to Singapore and think that they're going to do, from my understanding, Singapore is very strict, and you know that before going in there. that they don't play, and I don't know if this is a rumor or not, but you can't even chew gum there or something like that.
Sounds like a rumor.
Okay.
But my guess is gonna be that if you were in Singapore and you're at a party with friends and somebody offers you weed, I don't know if people are gonna be like, oh no, I can't smoke weed, it's illegal here. It's probably gonna be more like, because it's so illegal and enforced, like it's just not gonna be around as much, so the temptation isn't gonna do it, you know?
Okay. Oh, okay, so we was on the okay, 919. Okay, would you
Wait, you said
consider-
you used to be a cop, right?
Yeah.
The rhetoric is my aunt used to be a cop, and I hear this from my aunt and my mom all the time. This is why people will say shit like, you are who you hang around, or choose your friends carefully. Because they know that if you are surrounded by a lot of bad people, you're gonna do bad things. You just are. The opportunity's there and you're gonna do it. Like, and I know my aunt would do this as a cop. I don't know if you do this, but like, people will like judge you very quickly. Cops especially will judge you very quickly based on like the crowd that you run with. Right? Like if you're friends with this or that, you know, you're gonna be up to no good. Or did you ever listen to the not a good point anymore, but you remember Bill Cosby's outtake speech?
Yes, and I forgot it.
It's been a long time, so I don't remember as well.
It's
but
so long. Because it pissed black people off. So
well, it pisses some off, but
there's
there's huge splits in the black community over like how you deal with like because some black people will say things like systemic injustices exist, criminal justice system is bullshit, cops are trying to fuck over black people, blah, blah. Maybe most likely do this, but there are other black people that'll say like, yeah, that's true, but why the fuck are you hanging out with those people? And I think that's what the pound cake speech was for Bill Cosby. It was like, I think a kid got shot by a cop, I think, because he stole pound cakes, and Bill Cosby was like, he basically was like, why was he even there? And, which is a strong statement, but like it kind of, I think
agree with him though.
Sure, but well, some people get upset because, well, you shouldn't get shot for it, etc., which is true. But like you can look at figures like George Floyd and everything too, where you know some people are like, you don't deserve to die for, you know, whatever George Floyd did, you know, counterfeit money, whatever. That's not a death penalty thing. And that'll be like, people will be like, true, but then other people point to be like, why the fuck was he there doing that in the first place, you know? So, yeah, I think it's, sorry, just broadly saying, like, be careful who you surround yourself with, the environments you put yourself in, because it's going to make you more prone to bad behavior and everything. And I think that's going to be a way more important determining factor of bad behavior than, like, what is the punishment in an area for a certain crime, you know?
I do believe you can tell a lot about a person by the people they hang around with.
For sure.
That's
why I rarely talk to you. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Asshole. Anyway, when I was a police officer, we could not hang around anybody who was a felon, and if we did, we would get suspended.
Wait, really?
Yeah, they don't have that now.
Oh, okay.
Like, things have changed since I was a police officer, and in my opinion, for the worse. We had to have a physical fitness test, and if there was a certain amount of weight that a police officer, especially if you was a street cop, you could not gain this amount of weight. And if you did, and they will always find out if you did by when you go to your lieutenant and ask for upgrade, a bigger size in your uniform, then that's when the lieutenant will measure your body parts, and then he'll report you. But there was a lot of, there's a lot of things that they made strict about us, and plus we were never ever allowed to have friends, even family members. If our family members, which was never my case, were felons, we could not associate with them, because that's just how they wanted us. They want us to live by that. You are what you hang around. So this is the reason why when I was a police officer, most of the people we hung around with was people in the military and other police officers, as well as people in the fire department.
I guess the only reason why I don't like that mentality is because it feels like you can be a felon for a lot of bullshit reasons. Or like there are probably a lot of people that are like felons, but they're not like horrible people, right? Like felon doesn't always mean like wife beater or something, you know? Like
empowered.
In Georgia, it was because they don't have guns. I'm not saying this is the only reason, but when I asked why, just to my captain, he was like, well, they can't carry guns, so, you know, but that wasn't the only, he's like, but that's not the only reason. He was like, their gun rights have been taken. So
Dispel.
Can you really get rid of a person's right to own a firearm? I thought it was just voting, but maybe it's a firearm thing too.
No, in Georgia, if you have a felony, you cannot have a firearm.
Damn. Crazy. Second Amendment rights. That's wild.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Dispel.
Would you consider the solution to the incel problem is to legalize prostitution? Have these ladies teach you some game as well. But if you're hopeless at game, then pay to play is an option. What are your thoughts on this?
No, I don't think that like prostitutes or like pay for sex. That's not a substitution for like real human connection. I think.
Okay. Number 20. Destiny, are you ready to admit that you would not be interested in working out now if it wasn't for your wife convincing you to join her at the gym?
I don't think she ever did convince me. I don't think she ever cared much. Being able to do so, here's something that I feel very strongly about. Having people around you to reinforce good habits is probably one of the most important parts of having a good habit. So like, I've always wanted to get into working out. I can only start and stop a lot in the past, but having somebody that's actively working out makes it easy to do it. The easiest like counterexample to this is if you've ever tried, there's two big ones. If you've ever tried to quit drugs and you still hang around with friends that do drugs, you'll never.
It's going to be hard to do it.
No, it won't be hard. It will be impossible. You will always fail. Don't even waste your time. Just go back to pick up the fight because you're fucked. Same thing with like if you're trying to lose weight and you have like a partner that like bakes and stuff all the time, you're fucked. You're never gonna do it. Don't even bother wasting time. Just like learn how to live as a fat person. Pick out your wheelchair right now because you're fucked. You're never gonna make it. So yeah, I think that like Melina being like a gym going person is like somebody that very easily like reinforces that habit. So it's a lot easier with her to do that.
Target you.
Okay. What does it take to date an e-girl?
I want to be a fuckboy. I don't know. It probably depends on what kind of e-girl you're trying to date. I mean, if you're like me and you're like an e-boy, then I mean it's pretty easy because your lives kind of line up and everything. If you're just like a stranger on the outside,
keep moving.
You're probably never gonna get in there. It's almost impossible to do it at that point. It's difficult because our lives are so much different from the norm that a lot of people just can't relate. Like, I find that like when I'm talking to people who have very online lives, especially women, usually the thing that we relate over the most is that I have a really good understanding of how crazy their lives are, and that's something that's very rare. Like most men just won't have any fucking idea like the level of bullshit they put up with. So if you're a normal person, it's just, and also this kind of sucks. I used to think that like celebrities were really big elitists and shit. I used to think, oh yeah, you'll never blah 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 date a normal person. You think you're better than everyone, but it's not that. It's just that like normal people have no insight into like the crazy things that happen in this world. And then you always kind of look at people a little weird because you don't know who's trying to use you and fuck with you.
True. Yeah. Okay. For men isolated in today's climate, what would be the next best way to meet women other than work or school?
Shockwave.
For men isolated in today's climate, I don't know. I truly don't know. It's such a hard one.
He told me to press you on this one because I guess he asked you this in chat. And
well, it's not like I'm going to invent an answer to pressure me. I truly don't know where I would meet people. Like, pick a hobby, I guess, and see people that do your hobbies. So, like, if you play, like, Magic, you go to Magic tournaments. If you do models, go to model conventions or something, maybe something like that. But, I mean, I've been a very online person since I was, like, 12 years old, so. Or start learning how to play the dating app.
Okay. All right. Here's a long one. I'm a virgin and I'm 28 years old. It's a long story how I got this way, but I'll spare you the details. I'm currently dating a girl I really like for 2 weeks. We make out a lot. He put a lot, capital letters. But I always stop it before it goes any further. I do this because I'm scared that I will disappoint her sexually due to my inexperience, and I lie to her about my sexual past. On our first date, I told her that I'm single because my last girlfriend went psycho on me after I broke up with her because the sex was so good.
This guy. like depending on what state you live in, go to the closest gun store, buy a handgun, and just end it all because you just fucked yourself so hard, and you're actually so fucking.
I'm so sorry. I'm not laughing at you. I'm so
you
sorry.
You should be laughing at that guy.
I can't live up to this fiction. Not yet, anyway. My brother wants me to go to a brothel. My best friend wants me to come clean to her. Help me fix this without losing face. What should I do?
I don't like once you've told them your lies, you fucked yourself.
Yeah, you did actually. I can't.
And I don't like your best bet at this point would be to like sit her down and have an honest talk with her, and then it's like get all your cards out on the table. Chances are she won't care that much. Well, she might care that you lied to her.
Yeah, you lied to her.
Yeah, I don't know how.
Because I don't think this is breakup information. I don't think so.
Yeah, but the lying might be the big part. But yeah, otherwise, yeah, you're just a dumb fuck. So.
That's so mean.
Empowered.
He can't help but being a
dumb fuck.
Yeah, I think he's just, I don't know. Men brag sexually, but I don't think you should have bragged to her about a lie. You know, when men lie to each other, you know what I'm saying, and in male spaces, you know, they talk about the women they didn't get and the sex they didn't have, you know what I'm saying, and how much they made her, like, what they say, blew her back out and all this other stuff. But to lie to a woman about that, that's just silly.
Well, especially when you're fucking dating.
Right.
That's like a guy with a 4-inch dick saying he's got like a 12-inch dick with a girl over and over and over
again.
again.
Oh yeah, good analogy. Yeah, good comparison. I agree with that. Yeah. All right.
Hold on, real quick. I'm sorry. I have a virgin in chat. Here, honesty is the worst idea. How can Destiny be consistently wrong on this? If you are a virgin at 28, you're not going to pick up the prerequisite experience needed to blow the back out of whatever girl you're dating. So you can't. So you have to be honest. You're not going to be able to live up to that lie. So you're dead wrong.
Okay. All right. Is it ever possible for a guy who doesn't stream to date a cam girl without dropping huge donos?
It's gonna be really. See, because of everything that I said prior to this, you're in a totally different world. It's like streamers tend to be with streamers.
Special coming.
Famous people tend to become famous. Like it's just that it is what it is because there's so much shared overlap in interest there.
Remember when I said, hey, should I clear this with you? And you're like, you don't care. And this is the question I wanted to clear with you. Because I didn't know this, so I'm assuming this is true. So here's the question. Would women still date you, Destiny, if you didn't put your social media links in your dating bio? Do you do that? You put all your...
Yeah, so this is like, people ask this question a lot. It's a really stupid question. So people will say things like, do you think that women would date you if you weren't a famous streamer or something like that? Or do you think people would hit you up if you weren't a streamer? Like, here's the reality. I've spent the past 12 years of my life building out this career. So like, why would I present myself to somebody absent that? Because I've spent so much time on this, you know? Like, let's say instead I could have been like a lawyer or probably not a doctor, but some other, like an engineer or something. I would obviously say like, oh yeah, this is my profession. I work at a mechanical engineer at like fucking Boeing or something. Or I do this or that or whatever. Like, of course I'm going to talk about my job. When people try to do this thing, it's like, well, if you don't talk about the thing that you spent the past 12 years of your life building that you're incredibly successful at, I don't think anybody would like you. Yeah, no shit they wouldn't like you because I'd just be a random 33-year-old fucking loser that can't talk about his job. Like, what am I supposed to say? So yeah, I'm sure that like my job or whatever is something that draws people to me. But I mean, it should, right? Like, I'm pretty successful in a pretty cutthroat industry, and I've been doing it for 12 years. You know, that's like saying like that's like talking to like a doctor or a lawyer and be like, I don't think a girl would fuck you if you weren't a doctor. It's like, dude, this guy like busted his ass for 15 years through fucking pre-med, med school, residency, and now works in a hospital. Like, yeah, of course, you know that's going to be attractive to some people, and I think it should be. I think that's fine.
But you don't care, and I think this is what I heard. You don't care if women only pursue you because of your status online.
I mean, it's probably not gonna last very long. I mean, if it's just a fuck, that's fine. I don't care. I mean, it's just sex, right? But I mean, like, if somebody's trying to like use you for fame, yeah, actually, even that I don't care. You want to use me for a host, you want to fuck me for it. I don't care.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought. I heard you say that, and I was like, I don't understand that. Why would why don't you care about being used?
Yeah, well, because we're both getting something out of it, right? Like if some girl is like,
Oh
listen,
my
I'm so
God.
used to you, like host my stream,
I don't
like,
even
okay,
know
fine,
why
that's
I
cool.
asked you
Yeah.
that question. You still would have sex with Bad Bunny. I'm sorry. I take that back. You know what I'm saying? Forget it.
Hold on. This is before she was a communist, okay? It was different.
Special coming.
Right. Okay.
Not that I wouldn't fucking
AOE
copy this if you were
incoming.
thinking about messaging. That's fine. Okay, go ahead.
You guys got
All right. Where was that? Oh, okay. So this is the last question.
Yeah, what's up?
So you still would have sex with her though, right?
Today?
Yes, today. Because the last time I asked you, you said yes, and I was
It would
so
depend
shocked by
on.
that.
It would depend on. It would depend a lot. I like crazy girls. Okay. I like sex. What do you want me to say? Okay. I think that this might be a difference between. It might be me because I'm fucking Coomer brained, or it might be a difference between men and women. I've noticed that like, I think that there is emotionally, spiritually, or functionally, there's something different between like taking something into your body versus putting something into somebody else's body. And I feel that women have a general feeling that when somebody fucks you, you're letting somebody do something to you. And that feeling emotionally is probably a bit different than a guy who is like doing something to somebody else. So for women, when you ask me that question, like, would you still like fuck this person? I think in your mind, this is just a guess. I don't know what's in your mind. Right? You can tell me right now. But I feel like in your mind, women tend to view sex as like a thing that they let other people do to them. So there's like a buy-in there. Like I trust you enough, or I like you enough to do this. But for guys, it's like something that you do to somebody else. You know? So it like the feeling is a little bit more emotionally externalized.
Okay.
Yeah, and you don't have that same feeling like, yeah, of course I'd fuck a random person. Who cares? And like when a woman hears it, it's like, wait, you would like trust a random person enough to let them inside of you doing it? But for the guys, it's like, well, no, it's something like doing to another person. It'd be like punching a random person. Like, who cares? You know? Does that make sense?
Yes, it makes sense. Yes. All right. I think we're on our last question. It has two parts. If you were to design a Tinder profile in a conservative area, what would it say? And then the second one is, if you were to design a Tinder profile in a liberal area, what would it say?
Putting the political shit in your profile is fucking cringe. If I was designing a good Tinder profile, I'd probably like ask a friend girl that's on Tinder a lot, like, what do you look for? And then I would just go by their recommendations. If you've got friends that are girls, like asking them how to design the profile is probably gonna be your best bet. But like the idea that like, because no offense, like I've been on Tinder a lot, and I haven't done Miami yet, but in like LA and shit, every motherfucker had like Marxist, socialist, anarchist. Like there were a ton of girls with this shit in their profile. I seriously doubt that's gonna be the differentiator between if a girl chooses you or not. Like, oh my god, this guy has Marxist in his profile. Like I'm totally going with that dude. Like that's never happening, Chief.
Wouldn't men who, and I'm just guessing because I don't know, men who are right wing or conservative would be like thankful that those women would put, or are they like you? They don't care. She could be a daggone.
I don't think people.
He could be a Stalinist and still he'll be like, well, it's a hit. So
yeah, this is something I've learned quite a bit about over the past while. Is that like I think that people. I used to believe this more, that like people's political beliefs were really important. But I think that's because I identify strongly with my political beliefs, and I think that they come out in different ways in different people. Like I think a lot of I think that. Let me back up. I think it's more important to find out how a person treats you interpersonally or treats other people interpersonally than what their political beliefs are. I've met a lot of dog shit fucking human beings that are progressive and tolerant and love everybody and blah blah, but no, they're fucking assholes in their personal life. These are like subhuman, filthy, cretin fucks. Okay, so like at the end of the day, I don't give a fuck what your political views are. What I care about is like how do you treat me, how do you treat the people around you. I think that's going to be way more important. So I think it's possible you can get along with people that have way different political views of you, just depending on how they treat people. And just because somebody has some political view that lines up with yours doesn't mean fuck all. There's a lot of progressives that are like fucking loser pieces of shit, and there's a lot of conservatives that put about how much they like family values and they respect blah blah blah, who treat women like fucking garbage as well, like schizoid men that like have no fucking idea how to like treat other human beings or have an emotional connection with somebody, or not just be this like caricature of like a Sigma alpha male and act like an asshole all the time. So yeah, I don't know. I think it's important to meet somebody, figure out how they act, and then go from there. Don't like try to like filter people based on their political views. That's not going to teach anything about the person.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't even see that.
I agree with that. So that covers both of those questions, actually. Okay. All right. That concludes the question. What did you think about it so far? So it was way more questions this time than, but there were more from men than women. And I get in all honesty, that's because I kept going into your chat, which was wild.
I don't have any notes.
All right, hold on a second before we finish signing off. All right, guys. So that concludes today's Q&A, relationship-wise, with Stephen Bunnell the second, right? Okay. So we'll see you guys again on the next round. I don't know when that will be, but I'll let you know ahead of time. All right. Later, Tater. Say bye, Stephen. You do that every time. Okay, I want to clear something up, guys. When it comes to me and Steven, I do shit behind the scenes because I am not hey, look at me. Oh, let me get on. I'm not, hold on, before I say this. I am not saying that people who do this are
you
bad
did just
or
kind of
whatever.
say that. You kind of did say
No,
that.
I didn't. No, I'm saying that because I'm private, and the way he and I talk to each other behind the scenes, I don't want that filtered because I'm in front of a camera. All right, so
I could never use that many words on stream.
True, actually.
No,
And
not
so
true.
we-
Actually, stop.
So it's like the thing about it is I'm not that type of person. I'm very, very private. When it comes to my friendships, my relationships, a lot of that, I don't feel that if I may every now and then, if somebody comes around and say, hey, I haven't seen Trey in a while, I'll every now and then say, Steven, I want to come and talk to you online. And that's probably once a year I'll do that. Like when he's streaming, I want to come in there. That's when I left when he said, I didn't leave because of that, but I was like, when he was saying that he would still do Bad Bunny. But now that he explained the difference between how women view sex versus men view sex, I totally get it now. So, I don't think that you are, a hoe who has no morals
I am a hoe with no
whatsoever.
morals whatsoever. I'm literally an atheist. Okay, that is me. But I'm just saying it's probably a little easier for men to be hoes because of the different actual physiological approaches to sex. It feels a little bit different,
Yeah, that is so true. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, that's the only reason. So I'm just the kind of person who's pretty private. I just don't like to be in front of camera, and I like to say whatever I want to say without being, without worrying about, oh my God, am I going to get him in trouble for saying this, or am I going to get him in, that's that. So there. All right. So okay, I will. I guess I'll talk to you behind the scenes next time.
Run.
Okay. All right.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, guys. So let's see.
Run.
Shinjo Abiz. Assassination yet? No, I haven't.
Run.
Crazy. The dude made a Dude made like a homemade pipe shotgun. Abe. That is wild. Holy shit.
Oh.
Run.
I was filtering your matches through political influence print since it's a good way to avoid toxicity. Absolutely not. There is no filtering of toxicity because of political opinion differences. What do you think you're filtering then? Absolutely not. I'm telling you, you're not. You know how many, most of the dog shit human beings, like bad people that I've met in my life have been progressive so far. Now that's not because conservatives aren't bad people, but just because if you look at like the amount of people that I've met that are progressives, like, most of the progressives are bad people. They're just like, they're not good people. They're bad friends, they're bad people.
Definitely doable, guys. You gotta pump.
Yeah. You get a 9-barrel and a 5-barrel electrically activated pipe shotgun. Oh, Jesus. Isn't it possible for arguments to be more common than political opinions? I guess, and like maybe some people view it differently. I don't know. I kind of like that. I like being able to argue with my partner about things. I think it's better than just sort of looking all the time. I feel like that's not that uncommon either. I'll hear about a lot of people who like one parent is like super political, and the other one like not as much.
Dude, why are we getting so many of them?
Have you seen all the people celebrating a defendant's assassination? No, but I mean, it doesn't surprise me. It's probably like all political leaders are bad.
Yeah.
Everybody's imperialist in all of the United States. I'm sure he's probably said something like either transphobic or
I'm right here.
racist or something. Wait, wasn't he the first? Am I wrong? Was he the first like Japanese like PM or something or whatever to actually formally apologize for Japanese war crimes? Am I wrong on that or?
Empowered.
It was kind of racist a while ago, or not. I'm sorry, not racist. It was kind of a big deal a while ago, within the past 10 years or something. That like the Japanese like PM for the first time apologized for some shit or something. I don't know. I completely disagree. It's one thing to disagree on tax policy, another thing to disagree about whether minorities or women don't deserve human rights. I don't know. Honest to God, I feel like I might just be on some wild shit. I don't know anymore about anything. I feel like most people actually agree on most things. I actually do. I feel like most people at the end of the day agree on most things. But I think that the way that our disagreements come out make it seem like we have like wildly different views on things, and I don't know if that's the case all the time. But who knows?
I don't do that much DPS, but cool. Ring.
I've thought about this a lot more as I try to steelman conservative positions about like family values, and I always forget that like I know more about this than 99% of like the red pill traditional value people. For some reason I forget this. I don't know why, but I've been reminded more as I've like listened to these dipshits talk and listen to how they view relationships. So like, actually, you have no idea what traditional relationships are supposed to look like. And the thing that I can think of the most, and I only like relearned this about myself while trying to like steelman like weird red pillar positions. Like when it comes to the difference between men and women, tradcon people, or at least the ones online, are like very, very quick to point out that like men are better than women at these things, and men are better than women for this, and like men are better than women at this, and this is why women should do that, and blah 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 blah. That, and some people might try to be like, well, no, they don't mean that, blah blah blah. That is the way that it feels sometimes. It feels incredibly vitriolic.
It's close.
The way
back really quick. It's getting really hot in my room.
sample our spreadsheet?
Yes. I'm gonna roast this guy.
Hop up. It is hot in here now.
Way that it's presented, but like in like traditional relationships, it's not supposed to be. It's not that somebody's better or worse than somebody else. It's that different people are suited to different tasks, but there's like an equal level of respect between both partners, and I don't see that. I feel like I don't see that in a lot of like people that advocate for trad cunt shit. Like there seems to be some level of vitriol or aggressiveness towards women when there's supposed to be an incredibly big level of respect, and it's not there. Even if the woman is like the caretaker, she's still like the master of the household, makes decisions related to that, and like things that don't fall within like what the man is normally dealing with. But I feel like when you view things that way, and then you look at like how progressives want women to like, there's the difference is not as big as some people think there is. But I don't know. This is my feeling. Who the fuck knows? Do you think you have to disclose how many people you have had sexual experience with? I mean, you probably should. The thing is, my answer is going to be I don't care. So therefore, I'm going to say like I don't think it matters that much. But obviously, if you do care a lot, then it probably does matter a lot. So I don't know. I don't know. What about those of us who avoid any political discourse altogether? So a lot of people do that. Like I've met a lot of like.
Oh shit. Does this count as masturbation?
Nice. I don't know if this is the case everywhere or people have different like Tinder experiences than I do or whatever. But I met a lot of girls on like Tinder and shit when I was in California who would say things like very staunchly like I'm a Marxist or I'm a whatever and this is important to me and blah blah blah, and they'll say shit like this, but then like when you actually start talking to them and shit, they don't actually feel anywhere near as strongly about these things as they say they do. You know, like they'll have their like you know, what they say is their like super big political opinions on these things, but at the end of the day, it's just like it's an aesthetic. Or even look at like Lumiru, right? Who's like the archetypal like fucking SJW. Like she tries to like laugh it off on stream and shit, or they try to like laugh it off on stream and shit, but they'll match with like the alpha chads on fucking Tinder, you know, to see if they can hook up or not, you know. So it's like, yeah, I don't think people care about that political shit anywhere near as much as they say they do. Some do, but I think that's the exception, not the norm. How far over? Is it really only that far over? Shouldn't you take people at their word, though? Even if you're Mr. Girl that thinks they know better themselves. I don't know. There are some things that I've just learned to ignore on Tinder. Girls that say they don't fuck on the first date are almost usually lying, but they put it because they don't want to seem like they sleep around a lot. And then political beliefs are usually like people don't feel anywhere near as strongly as they pretend they do about them. Those are like just trends. But I mean, like if I meet somebody in real life and they tell me like, no, this is really important, I'm not gonna like sit there and be like, I don't think it is important actually. I'm gonna tell you, like, I'm not gonna do that. But I mean, like, I think that people well, I mean, like, but I can go the opposite way and say guys do it too. I've heard of this a lot. I don't know if it's true, but I've heard a lot that guys will lie about political beliefs to try to fuck girls. That guys will put shit like, oh yeah, like super left leaning, loved Bernie Sanders, supported him hardcore, but they don't give a fuck about that. They're just saying what they think they need to say to fuck a girl. So I mean, like, that's probably true too on the other end. Obama did that? Oh, he might have said he did that, yeah. Wait, what am I supposed to get here? Is the left like, is this like no makeup or just like foundation and this is like heavier makeup? She looks super good in both of these pictures. Wait, what was this linked with? Absolutely and utterly bogged. Wait, I don't get it. What are we? It's plastic surgery. They're two different people. Oh, I have no idea. They look the same to me. Her nose, her cheekbones. I think it's a little hard to tell with the lighting, no? Maybe, but I don't know. I could be wrong. Like, these two pictures are lit totally differently. Wait, are they really different people? The nose. Look at the outline of the cheekbones. Can you tell the outlines that much? Because, like, a big part of, like, the, like, makeup shit, like your foundation and your bronzer and all that shit are, like, contouring and stuff, too, right? I have no idea. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend to be able to pick out the difference. My horny ass could not live next to the man with the yellow hat. What does that mean? Man that wears a raincoat. The owner of George the Monkey. Curious George. Okay. What does Merrick mean here? Comment section. Him picking that Dumbledore quote when the reason we aren't friends is because I challenged not even him, but his fans and people responding to him. He was horrible to me in response multiple times is hilarious. Are you serious? The reason why I don't like Merrick is because she's a backstabbing, snaky fucking piece of shit that will run around and spread the most vile, horrible fucking rumors about my fan base and give me the least charitable interpretation possibly on every single fucking thing I tweet. Are you serious? What a dumb fucking quote. It's also extra stupid because like I can't have this. I hate this. This is like it's the one thing that I can't have. I would love nothing more than people that want to come on or stream that are friends that will argue or fight with me. These are like the most fun. This is why I like Lauren so much, or even Fuentes, although we haven't fought as much. Having somebody that can come on stream, or Richard Lewis was a really good one until he tried to get me banned from Twitch. Or Haas was kind of fun. Vosh was a lot of fun for this. Having like friends in my circle that I can bring on and like argue with is actually super fun for me. I really enjoy that. Pisco is a really good example of that too. Yeah, wait, I have so many people that I'll do this with. I super enjoy these conversations. They're a lot of fun for me. I don't mind like I'm not gonna say I don't mind. I super
Keep
enjoy
hating
it
your life, then.
when I have
Andy.
friends. X Skills Me was another one is too. People that will come on my stream and argue with me or fight with things. It's like super fun.
Start up with the Zenderal drama, Nomi. I only have limited time
I'm waiting
today.
for him to do a live stream. Richard Lewis is cool now. He's cool now, and I'm cooler towards him as well. To be fair, we were both pretty not cool towards each other, but You want to come on stream and talk about it? I'm sure you'll definitely have more information, access to DMs than I do. What does she think is in our DMs that would like expose me? What did we talk about last? She usually is like friendly-ish in DMs, and I'm friendly-ish in DMs. But I just feel like when she tweets about me, it's like some unhinged shit all the time. Why does she think our relationship, quote unquote, went south? Does she think I would nuke? Like, I think she's reasonably attractive. We had some kind of thing, and it's fun to argue with people. Like, why would I nuke that connection? Like, why would I be the one to do it? Like, it doesn't make sense. Because you disagreed with her? But I don't ever nuke friendships or relationships with people that I disagree with. What is this? As I understand it, Vosh saw Destiny as a content creator he wanted to follow, and whom he later teamed up with for some debates and argued against in other debates, and maybe even had a meal or two with when they'd be in the same conventions or whatever. But Vosh never fell for the parasocial illusion that he and Destiny were friends. What do you think parasocial means? I wish that the word, whoever introduced the word parasocial to the discourse, like, did a disservice. Like, that's not parasocial, that's social. We knew each other in real life, and we actually talked to each other on stream for over a decade. That's not parasocial, that's just a thing. That's a real thing. What the fuck? Jesus. I'm trying to imagine some girl like dumping her boyfriend, and the guy's like, but our time together was so important to me and I loved you. And it's like, you didn't love me. We only knew each other in high school. I'm not gonna fall for that parasocial bullshit. Like, what do you mean? You know exactly what I mean. Dad, where'd you go? Not your real dad. You've been my stepdad since I was 3. That's a parasocial relationship. You're not gonna trap me with that bullshit.
Keep hating your life, then, working class Andy.
I do.
The greatest trick Destiny ever played was convincing the world he didn't invent the word parasocial.
Why are people saying I'm removing the water, putting slabs? Shut up! If you're a Minecraft noob, don't try to correct me on anything ever, okay? Get out of here. Don't talk to me. I don't really understand the argument from Cedar. Like, obviously, if you don't need to answer the constitutional question, you should answer the statutory one, but that's not why people are mad at since United and Destiny's right now. No, everything Cedar brought up. Cedar was a 9-year-old in that conversation who desperately wanted to show off. He probably went and he read a whole bunch of shit right before talking to me, and he's like, what about this and that 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 and that? Because if I were to ask someone in chat, what do me and Sam Cedar disagree about on Citizens United? No one could answer that because we didn't actually argue or even talk about it at all. It was just Sam was like really hyped up and excited to show me every factoid that he'd looked up or had ever learned in his life about Citizens United. Like it was a, God, I wish I would have went hard on the Rittenhouse part of that conversation, but whatever. Maybe I shouldn't have called him a 9-year-old. Fuck. Polished, and then from polished to brick. Wait, tile slab, and then from brick to tiles. This is, I don't like this building sequence in Minecraft. The making one thing into the next thing and the next thing, the next thing, and then doing that. It seems kind of lazy or weird. I don't like it. Or maybe they just gave up. Use a stone cutter. Oh shit. How often do you think people still message like Notch for like, why don't you do this on Minecraft? I still get the occasional email, maybe once every few months, of somebody asking me to fix or do something with their Destiny account.
Chad, don't leave me.
I am sorry. Sorry, Bob. It is just not working out between us.
But I love you.
No, you don't love me, you parasocial soy sponge.
God, this sucks. I need something to cure my depression.
Obama.
Good job. Watching the movie Waiting yesterday, I didn't miss who wrote the dialogue for this movie.
Hey there, Natasha. How's my favorite miner doing today?
Hungover. I got so shitty last night.
On a school night? Kids today. I must say there is nothing more attractive than tainted youth. Yes, I am indeed a pervert. Does that offend you?
Nope. I think that most tainted youths end up being perverts.
Good answer.
Oh, and Monty, just so you know, I'm only a minor for another week. I turn 18 on Wednesday.
Well, then I guess I better hurry up then. I don't have much time.
What is this movie? What?
Hey, Dan. Hey, Lonnie. How you doing? Good. So, what do you think of Natasha? I think she's illegal. Yeah, I've made peace with that. Seriously, look at her. You know that she has that Scooby-Doo tongue. Actually rape. On the other hand, maybe she is too young. Oh, like that's ever stopped you before? You know what? That is a very, very good point.
Jesus Christ.
And I'm convinced Natasha will be mine. Thanks for the advice, buddy.
Hey, anytime.
You see, I don't work within the exact boundaries of the law because I wasn't consulted when the goddamn laws were made. No, instead, nameless, faceless politicians, the so-called protectors of the moral majority, decide what is right and what is wrong. I mean, come on. I govern my life around my own personal code of ethics, and I suggest that you do the same. That way, if within the constructs of my own morality, society, I were to do something that was considered illegal. So be it. I feel no guilt whatsoever, and furthermore, if I were to buckle under the social weight of the system by adhering to laws that I do not truly believe in, then I would be extinguishing the very fire of patriotism and individuality. So, whew, in a sense, by having sex with Natasha, I'd be preserving the rights our forefathers fought and died for. Right? Well, I guess it was a rhetorical question.
I just sat you. You're gonna love him.
Hey there, ladies. My name is Monty.
I just did my manifesto.
Bam!
Empowered. I don't need to put some
Bam!
watching me.
Bam!
Watch your step.
What are your thoughts on Dune again? Watched it last night. It sucked ass. It did suck ass.
Keep hating your life then, working class
Boring,
Andy.
boring, shit, boring movie.
Wait a minute. Is this a school zone?
Whoa! Banned meme alert. Nevicar, you better hope you got your tier 4 sub one for that one, or the bear's gonna get you. Oh, dude, Get over. What, Shutter Island? Yeah, it's a decent one.
That's one.
Watch your step.
Keep hating your life then, working class Andy. Keep hating your life then, working class Andy.
You have the exact time and place.
My impression of Destiny during a debate.
Hey, buddy, how are you doing? Oh man, this food is good. Asterisk, mutes Mike Asterisk. This guy is schizo Asterisk, unmutes Mike Asterisk. Asterisk, insert rape analogy asterisk. Neck ass. Me.
Shockwave. 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 Shockwave.
Guys, listen. I love trans women, okay? Trans women do not have periods. Please stop saying this shit on Twitter. It's so stupid. Please stop. Don't do this.
Keep hating your life then, working class Andy.
Oh, damn.
True.
Okay. That was interesting.
Okay.
The monk did well.
Hey everybody, tonight we're debating whether or not there is
Like
a war
3
on men,
packs.
and we are starting right now.
3 hours and 40 minutes. Is there a war in Matt? This sounds like not a.
So fucking fine. You know I'll be all up in that shit. Give it the bowling ball grip. 2 in the pink, 1 in the stink.
Nick, T-Dog, you guys are so one-dimensional.
No, fuck you, Whitey. Hey, Floyd, make sure there's no bacon on the chef's sauce against religion.
Gift master, right away, master. Ain't
Keep
gonna be
hating
no
your life
bacon
then,
on
working
the
class
salad,
Andy.
master. No bacon. Oh no, no, oh no, no, please. No.
Does this look good, Stephen?
Yeah, I'm really good. Hold still. You're my good little tracer.
Ah! Ow! Ow! Ag! Ow! 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 Ag! Ow! 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 Ag! Ow! Ow!
Nice. It's more funny when you add the same thing 50 million times. How can you miss the point so hard? I knew this would be one of the responses. The cringiest part is when he starts listing off all the things he's done for people. I don't know what he expects for people to praise him for not being completely selfish. It says a lot about you as a person when you keep a list of what you've done for people, at the same time not acknowledging why those same people don't like you anymore. What did I ever do to, like, any of these people? Besides, like, blow them up online over, like, political shit. Like, but I guess for some people that's enough to, like... And I didn't even blow up some of these people either. I don't think I ever attacked Lumi. I never attacked Bad Bunny. I never attacked a lot of these people either. They just... What's so amazing... I can't read these comments. I'm going to lose faith in mankind. What's so amazing about Steven's not at all worrying manifesto is how he consistently pits himself as this poor,
hating your life
put
then,
upon
working
underdog
class Andy.
victim.
What is this sound effect spam tryhard bullshit? We must reject modernity, return to tradition.
These poor put upon underdog victim to people with platforms and fractions of it. I didn't say I was an underdog. I literally end my thing saying I'm incredibly blessed to do what I do. I literally put it in there. Was there no point in even adding this shit? These dastardly left people just continue being oh so mean to him. I like to say, oh so mean. People will say that I play the victim. Like, okay, Destiny, somebody fucking sends you a DM about how they want to blow the asshole up of your 8-year-old son. Wow, people are so mean to you. Meanwhile, I'll quote a trans person and they'll be like, you're actually stage 1 of the trans genocide, Destiny. What the fuck is wrong with you? Like, come on, dude. Get fucking real. The most harassment these people ever get are a few more fucking DMs on Twitter. Steven's too narcissistic to consider the fact that he's just not a very good friend to the people he actually tries to connect with. If he didn't command any army of malicious trolls, I'd be more sympathetic. Yeah, okay, dude. I feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone listening to you call this dope person it.
Keep hating your
Oh,
life then,
jeez.
working class Andy.
Hold on, more donos.
Computer, tell me how many sexual partners I've had.
Certainly. Calculating now. Critical error. Number is too large.
Nice way, yeah.
Yeah, because I fucked all your moms. Good one. The panel is falling for ontological evil, punching up a frame of analysis, especially the defensive death threats you guys are literally making his point. Unfortunately, Desi has outmodeled you people with his manifesto. Nice try, though. Edit. Sorry, guys, it was a bit harsh to my initial assessment. I was only halfway through. The discussion at the end is pretty insightful, and Sunny has positioned himself uniquely in the space. Okay.
There he is. How was the fun phone call was last night? How did it end up going? It was fun.
The poll guy wants to talk to me. Yeah, so I got a... I want to talk to him, but I want to be... I'm trying to be really prepared for every conversation I have.
3KIO.
Every conversation I have, I want to be prepared for it. That's with the Cedar thing. That's why I had written out notes and everything too. I want to have some notes for all of my conversations so that I can keep track of broader macro convos better. What is the narrative that I'm kind of looking to push? I got a really good email from a trans woman in her 30s.
You've gotten legendaries.
Super
interesting. Is it just getting to Revered, or is there
not a lot, but a decent amount?
Something else.
And I kind of want to read through this.
To get the 291 Unity.
I'm not gonna be able to read all of this first.
It's just, and there's no shortcutting that. It's just.
But one of the I guess I can read just her email. I won't read all the things she's attached, but.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm a trans woman in her 30s. I'm going back and forth on how I feel about your trans takes with a lot of general agreement and shared frustration with current trans spaces online, but there's an angle that I think would help you give more context to the fact that queer theory understandings of gender have not been uncritically welcomed by transgender people who are left-leaning, and this goes back to the origins of queer theory. I don't expect you to read even the very short writings, although any one of these short ones can give you a wealth of context on this history, although paired with tons of annoying academic leftist writing. But it's important to know that queer theory understandings of gender are not the exclusive position in academic spaces amongst even LGBTQ plus leftist scholars.
You can't really play the class.
The immediate example is Judith Butler's use of a real trans woman from a documentary to make her point about how gender is performative, criticizing this woman for wanting things like a suburban home and a normal family because she reinforces traditional gender notions or traditional notions of gender rather than challenging it, which Butler thinks she must be doing. Note that the same documentary reveals that she was murdered by a John. She was a survival sex worker, possibly for being trans. Butler was regularly criticized for using the trans woman's hopes, which came from a highly marginalized position, a Hispanic, Latina, trans street sex worker in the 80s, to claim that being trans is about transgressive. To claim being trans is about being transgressive in a fundamental way. Two major critiques of her perspective came in the 1990s by a trans man and a woman working with trans sex workers. Both challenged queer understandings of gender, particularly on the grounds that for trans people, there is something real about their gender, something beyond construction, something essential to their desire, not to be read as performing womanhood like all women do, which is to say, reflecting contemporary understandings of a woman is anyone who we call a woman,
you're normally
but an actual woman. I've included a key excerpt from Prosser's book.
So you're not playing the class
until you're able to play the class. Then when you're able to play the class, you're trying to play the class. In fact, she's laying the groundwork for the long-standing intellectual move in which the trans person, just through the act of existing, becomes a kind of living incubator for other people's theories of gender. J. Prosser, 1998, warned us about this in the late 90s. No one listened. And then she attaches a source for another paper to read, but... I've attached several resources here besides the two mentioned, and they're all short in these spaces, in some cases explicitly by trans women of color, and noting a decades-long rejection of trans people's self-knowledge of gender as a real thing, and not just a construct of performance, by queer theorists in a way that trans people have challenged. This is all to say the contemporary discourse that queer understandings of gender as purely constructed / arbitrary are the only queer understandings is itself a lie. Not only are there tons of ways to understand gender besides as raw constructs, there is not even academic consensus among people generally called gender or queer theorists, not even among trans queer theorists of color.
I'm gonna go get some chips and salsa and just relax.
Wait, why did a creeper appear here?
I think MDI is playing right now. I might watch it. It is.
Versus Monka.
for
The
Valorant?
downside is that Womegalol looks really slow to get the boss engaged here, and
I mean, he'll always be a
I'm
viable,
very unclear with how how
viable
much
pro
time
in
this
any game he
realistically
plays.
saves them
Unironically,
doing it like
he's
this.
just naturally
However,
good at
it's
everything.
something that Womegalol believes is going to be very good for them. And look at that Woe Drifter. Toba perfectly feign deathing that off to the side. The rest of his
Do you
team
think
is
it has
getting this
something?
pack set
Do you
up,
think it's
getting this red
purely
slime filled
off of skill,
But for
or do you
Echo,
think it
they're gonna be able to pull the boss
genuinely
here in
has some
just a
sort
moment,
something to
as
do? Like everyone, like Shazam,
so
Shroud,
Tobo, like, feign deathing that boss,
Tenzi,
Dr. Ickes has to
Shroud, like
respawn.
they're
There's
all
a
like
lot of stuff that's
connected
going
in
on
history
here,
with CS.
That's going to be different for them.
So
But
it's like,
now
do you think
is
that plays
allowed
any
to engage
factor?
this encounter. But Echo's kind of caught up with the just difference in strategy. So it's a question of how much is that Woe Drifter really worth.
Yeah, the Woe Drifter will be coming in later for Womegalol, whereas Echo are just going straight into boss. They're just getting an on this, as are Womegalol
True.
on pull. But yeah, like you can see on the boss health
Which
here,
is interesting.
Echo
'Cause he's
actually are a little bit
been,
ahead
he almost went like
here
the Summit G
in
route,
dungeon
where he was
progression.
just
So
like,
it
I
is a
want to do what I
question of
want to
whether
do
that
and have fun
investment
doing it.
into that Woe Drifter will pay dividends
and then
later for
now he's
Womegalol,
like,
because if it
I wanna be
doesn't,
more
Echo
competitive
have just
again. It's
clawed
like,
back
oh,
those 30 seconds
that's cool.
as a
I
result
guess.
of all that extra
But it'd be
time
like
spent
to me, it'd be
setting
like
up
if
for
Tim and
Womegalol.
Tatman are fucking, because Tim played
All right,
CS
so
competitively
now,
a little bit.
It looks like Echo is
Not seriously,
the
but
first phase here. They do have this Plague Bomb. Whenever we
It's
saw
not
them
like
in
you-
Plague Bomb earlier, they were having some issues with their bomb killing. It wasn't this first bomb.
In
but
CS?
They commit like a full DPS,
That's
DPS set
open.
of cooldowns into killing the boss before the second one goes off.
That's, I mean,
And
no
so they
offense
have
to
be
open
super
players,
careful
but
here.
like,
the
the only
killing
thing
off
I
this
don't
first
like
one
about
seems
open is it's
totally
like,
fine.
oh,
They
you're
do actually have
either
Turtle available
a
this time in case that
past
that
past
bomb
invite
does go
player
off, so they are going to lose
who
fewer
has
people if they
skipped
don't have the
2-3
damage
seasons.
to killing it.
So that, I mean, fucking, what was it?
Yeah, they're
What
going to
did
be going to their last
He didn't play
platform now,
main.
and it looks like it's not
MDL?
going to be the one with that red slime still down, so maybe a little bit of a damage loss
Summit did.
relative to if it had made that choice. We know that they have the damage for this, almost. The question is, can they actually get over the finish
So
line
it's
this
like-
time? Last time, they were about a
Do
third
I
of a
think-
second
oh,
too slow
who's
on getting this
Flom?
boss killed.
Flom is the
This
other
time,
guy?
they are really hoping
I think
to turn
Flom
that
actually
around.
went pro.
They commit the Infernal here, which should make short work of
Not
this. I
just
don't think
MDL.
they did that last time, so that
I'm
may
gonna
be
get
the
chips.
difference that they need here. That boss is dying. No power infusion being used, but the Infernal commitment. 8% on the boss now. The AMZ actually is coming down, so it looks like they are maybe planning on letting this explosion go off. Yep, they're just saying, you know what? We'll tank this. Turtle use this time, like you said, was available for them, along with all of their other defensives.
That seems more consistent just as a strategy as opposed to committing to the boss. Like, you saw the boss was even at 3% HP, so I mean, there's some roles probably where they're able to kill that boss in time. But like the one that they had and the one that they had previously in this dungeon, it just seemed like it was inconsistent. Now Echo, they really want their offensive CDs available. So you called out that Infernal specifically. This is when they do like this Defender and they do this middle island pull. And this is more of like a cooldown pack. So they really want their Infernal back up for this big Domina Venom Blade pull. And so they're just going to utilize this pack in particular to allow their cooldowns to come back up. I feel like Womegalol kind of squandered that early lead that they had here with that Dr. Ickes sequencing. Would you agree with that?
I mean, just looking at the split here, it's hard to argue that they didn't lose time here, right?
Oh
their
man, at least
split
woe
is
buff.
a minute slower, right? And that woe buff isn't even going to persist for them where they want it here. And I don't know how they're going to recover this. Something must have gone horribly wrong for the timing of Womegalol here, right? Because there's no way that this was worth otherwise. That woe buff really not providing them that much value unless they needed the DR to survive a bomb explosion or something. But I don't even know if that would have been the case, as they are going to go on the same island. But Echo right into Domina Venom Blade here, getting all of their cooldowns sent on this really, really hard pull. No battle res, no bloodlust available for them, so a death here would be catastrophic. They are through most of the trash now. That huge AoE damage that this composition provides is just melting those enemies. They now have that to help keep them alive as well.
I think this is super good for Echo. The fact that they were able to get through this pack, like you said, no battle reses, so any death can become problematic. So even deaths to super minor stuff can be an issue here. I think that overall, Echo's looking like they're having a commanding lead over Womegalol, even though Womegalol was something in the range of 30 seconds ahead coming out of the first boss. It's just that boss 2 split for Womegalol, you can see it at the bottom of your screen. With it being 508 compared to Echo's 350, it was just better pathing for Echo that's allowed them to kind of have a 50% HP lead on Domina Venom Blade.
Yeah, it's certainly not over yet, as that boss is still nasty, and the end of the dungeon is also not without its potential pitfalls. But right now, it is definitely Womegalol firmly in second place here, hoping to catch back up to where Echo are. Echo just needs to hold on. There's, you know, the hardest parts of the dungeon are certainly behind them, right? There are a few more things that could throw a wrench in their plans, but if they hold on here, they should be able to get this one. And I think that's actually really important for them because, like you said, that map 3 on Gambit is a really scary one for Echo in this series, given the existing times these two teams are on. So they are really hoping to close this one out here.
It's a terrible proposition for them. It's one of those things that it's probably Womegalol favored if they go to a game, if they go to a map 3. So Echo needs to be closing this out here, and they're doing a great job. They pulled Dominant Venomblade into this Tentacle Defender pack. They dropped the AMZ for a little bit of added security. I think it's super nice. They're just trying to make sure that everybody has defensives whenever those stuns are going off. Because if your Hunter gets targeted, or one player gets targeted over and over again, they can start to run into some issues. But it looks like Echo's going to be downing Domina, and it's kind of the final issue here.
This must.
No, dude.
I'm gonna be trying to do this fucking level
Igloo and Dr. J and Ricky all going down here. Now, they do have 2 battle reses here, so they're probably going to commit one on Dr. J, and one will come out on Igloo in a second here. And they are going to still try and get over this finish line on the boss here. So that is going to slow down this boss kill tremendously, and it's going to cost them so much time.
Man, this is a spot where this is so unfortunate for Womegalol. Now Womegalol is just kind of hoping that Echo is going to have a full wipe, but you don't
It's a
really
good call to try and finish the fight here, right? Like it would be slower to wipe at 50% and do it again with 5 people versus try and get over the finish line with 4 people. Not that much slower, but definitely slower. So they are doing
level
the best
0
they
doesn't
can
have
here, but they are
forces completed.
absolutely in a position where, in order to win this game and stay alive in this tournament, all eyes are over to Echo, and if Echo can do this without wiping, they'll be able to get back into that grand finals for a grudge match revenge tour against Monka.
It is a 25 Tyrannical, but this is something that Echo should be very well equipped to deal with. This is like, the back half of this dungeon here should be fairly standard. Igloo going down again for Womegalol. I don't know how Mike, Jay, and Tobo are going to be able to down this boss with Igloo being dead. Maybe since it's 25%, if they have enough defensives, they should be okay, but oh no.
Yeah, I mean, LeMike can definitely live this on his own here. The question is Dr. J and Tobo. You can see those stuns coming out on the hardest parts of the dungeon are certainly behind them, right? There are a few more things that could throw a wrench in their plans, but if they hold on here, they should be able to get this one. And I think that's actually really important for them because, like you said, that map 3 on Gambit is a really scary one for Echo in this series, given the existing times these two teams are on. So they are really hoping to close this one out here.
It's a terrible proposition for them. It's one of those things that it's probably Womegalol favored if they go to a game, if they go to a map 3. So Echo needs to be closing this out here, and they're doing a great job. They pulled Dominant Venomblade into this Tentacle Defender pack. They dropped the AMZ for a little bit of added security. I think it's super nice. They're just trying to make sure that everybody has defensives whenever those stuns are going off. Because if your Hunter gets targeted, or one player gets targeted over and over again, they can start to run into some issues. But it looks like Echo is going to be downing Domina. Again, they can start to run in. Because if your Hunter's super nice, they're just trying to make sure that everybody has defensives whenever those stuns are going off. Because if your Hunter gets targeted, or one player gets targeted over and over again, they can start to run into some issues. But it looks like Echo is going to be downing Domina, and it's the final issue here. Oh no, dude!
Igloo and Dr. J and Ricky all going down here. Now, they do have 2 battle reses here, so they're probably going to commit one on Dr. J, and one will come out on Igloo in a second here. And they are going to still try and get over this finish line on the boss here. So that is going to slow down this boss kill tremendously, and it's going to cost them so much time.
Man, this is a spot where this is so unfortunate for Womegalol. Now Womegalol is just kind of hoping that Echo is going to have a full wipe, but you don't
It's a good call to try and finish the fight here, right? Like it would be slower to wipe at 50% and do it again with 5 people versus try and get over the finish line with 4 people. Not that much slower, but definitely slower. So they are doing the best they can here, but they are absolutely in a position where, in order to win this game and stay alive in this tournament, all eyes are over to Echo, and if Echo can do this without wiping, they'll be able to get back into that grand finals for a grudge match revenge tour against Monka.
It is a 25 Tyrannical, but this is something that Echo should be very well equipped to deal with. This is like this is something that
against Monka.
It is a 25 Tyrannical, but this is something that Echo should be very well equipped to deal with. This is like, the back half of this dungeon here should be fairly standard. Igloo going down again for Womegalol. I don't know how LeMike, Jay, and Tobo are going to be able to down this boss with Igloo being dead. Maybe since it's 25%, if they have enough defensive, they should be okay, but oh no.
Yeah, I mean, LeMike can definitely live this on,
They're doing, like,
on his
mega
own
pulls on
here.
Venom
The
Blade,
question
the
is
third
Dr.
last
J
boss.
and
Or second
Tobo.
last boss.
You can see those stuns coming out on Tobo. Actually, they've mind-controlled the Defender of Many Eyes and used its Bulwark ability to get a little bit of extra defensive value for whoever is getting stunned over there on that blue world marker. That is allowing them to survive for now. That damage coming out from those ambushers on the group. They need to break those out very quickly. Tobo getting targeted again.
That's good tech.
Over to the Defender. Gets
the one of them,
hit by
he just literally
Volcanic
RNG'd.
as well. The leech
He went to go
that
get all
Survival
the,
Hunters have is actually pretty substantial as well with the damage that they do. So able to return
webs
himself
that
to health. Megal are going to be able to kill this boss, but Echo are already on Margrave Stradama over on the left-hand side of the screen.
As that happened, he was away from her.
Just need to avoid wiping
he got
here,
the
and
stun,
they can get. I mean, they're so far ahead at this point. They are again 3 or 4 minutes ahead.
Assassins that
based
he
on how
popped
terribly
out,
this went
hit him,
for
and then
Megal.
the AoE.
They're not even doing anything scary here. This is like
everything
standard.
happened at once. It's like, fuck.
If you're watching a TGP, this is like a normal pull. Like they're doing this like a normal team. I guess maybe killing the congealed slime during the boss is an added layer
It's
of
a little bit
difficulty.
spicy, yeah.
But it's not that. It's not that much. Like
It's
not
like
that
one
difficult.
jalapeno pepper compared to some of the 5 jalapeno pepper pulls they were doing earlier this dungeon.
Is that how we're?
That's how I always see spice measured. So I
Is that how
figured
we're
it's the,
ranking pulls now? All right, that
Americans
pull
will
was
do anything to avoid using the metric system.
that pull was 5 jalapenos. All right, so now Echo downing the 1.5 jalapeno pepper boss, Margrave Stradama. There is a little bit of spice there, but overall, 25
Yeah, Bloodlust here. Going to be committed
be
during
fine.
P2. This is a very good time. Anytime you're on this boss, this is a good phase to use the Bloodlust on, because usually you have a lot of cooldowns on pull, and a lot of them come back up during P3. And P2 is really that one that takes a long time. You actually have more mechanics that are kind of more scary from those spawns showing up in that phase, and they don't spawn anymore in P3. So it is something that I definitely endorse for most groups, is just P2 Bloodlust on Stradama.
It makes a lot of sense too, because like you're not going to consistently have that red slime puddle that you're able to stand in either, and so there's like a lot of damage that you can potentially lose out on. Echo does have 100% enemy forces count after they end up killing off that congealed slime. All defensives are going to be committed here if they are going to get an infectious rain.
What was the do we have the Monka Plaguefall time? I'm curious if this from Echo, I guess is
09.
Yeah, it's not going to beat them just off the strength of that, or off the pain on that first boss, but still pretty close. I think if we didn't have that death on the first boss, I think Echo would potentially be competitive there with Monka. This was a great run for them. They are punching their ticket to the grand finals here. Unfortunate turn of events for Womegalol, but very, very well played by Echo.
That's right. Echo not quite dead yet. They're going to get the 2-0 versus Womegalol, and they're moving back up to the grand finals. We're going to get the rematch. It's going to happen. We're going to get to see them take on Monka. I can't wait. Props to Womegalol, though, as we can see him fighting Stradama right now. I mean, they did so well in making it this far. Remember, they had to battle all the way through the last stand tournament, and so really is amazing to see them make it all the way to the lower bracket grand finals. But in the end, Echo just too hard to beat.
Yeah, I mean, you were just saying it. Keep in mind, they came from the last stand tournament and they made it into the top 3 of our global finals. That's definitely a, a feat you have to recognize.
It's still a meta.
Very
Windwalker,
good played,
Hunter,
well played
Warlock.
by them. Super, super proud
You
of what
need a
they've
decur,
done so
swap
far.
out the Windwalker
But
with
Echo, of course, getting that 2-0 sweep in against Womegalol again shows us how strong Monka really is, as the 3 games we saw earlier today looked super close.
Most people
so
want that.
I'm very, very excited to see what happens in these global finals. But before that, let's have a look at what was going on in that dungeon, because there were some neat techniques for both of the teams, actually. So
I played the other day with fucking
did
sicko
see
fucking
both
Warlock.
teams, of course, doing the big pulls, and then there was this cool thing. The smorgasbord was so close, but they used a
Having
ring
a
of peace
sicko
before
Warlock
they re-banished,
that just knows when to
making
pick
sure
out
it
your
doesn't go
dispel
into
path
Globrock
is actually
and
beast.
heals the boss. And yeah, we did have the Dr. Ika's bomb
That shit's so
go
fucking
off
nice.
here, and Frag was actually going to the other platform and using that fleshcraft at the back there, making sure the damage is not as big on him. And we did have this huge pull here from Echo, which then was replicated by Womegalo as well, where they had a sign spot where they would go out if attacked by the boss. So really neat from both teams to have that designated spot to stand in, and then of course the final boss, they just grabbed in that congealed slime at the end when they were finished with all the other trash. Before that it was trapped at the far end. And yeah, GG 2-0. What can you say? That's the Echo we know.
Yeah, definitely looking a little bit cleaner. There were a couple issues, obviously. It wasn't perfect, but it was good enough to get them back to the grand finals. And the question is it good enough to beat Monka? And I think that's a big question mark right now. I think it's very difficult to call. And I mean, if earlier in the day was any indication, Monka may be looking a little bit stronger even now. Maybe even the favorites, dare I say it, in the grand finals.
Echo will look like they were 4.5 jalapeno peppers. Monka looked like they were 5 jalapeno peppers. And just by the pepperology here, maybe Monka should be favored. However,
this was the same from earlier, right? The
I saw. Looks that way, yeah.
Yeah, the semifinal upper
it's
bracket.
the same.
I think it was.
I think the grand finals, though.
Oh, up to 8%.
So, of people who thought that Monka made it to the grand finals, they were more confident that they'd have the ability to actually take Echo out. Tettles, you are one of the 8% here as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Tettles, how do you
My
feel?
people, I feel vindicated.
I wonder if they're gonna break.
I like Monka at 8% here. I think there are better chances than that for sure. I don't know if they're a favorite in the grand finals, but it's definitely really close. That 50-50 cited by Makes earlier has got to be somewhere close.
How much do you like
close
recency
on this one.
bias?
That's the thing is you got to be careful to not over-update based off of just one series, right? Echo are still back to some large number of backs.
4 in a row, right?
4 backs.
I can't count that high,
they
so
have
I'm just
4 backs.
Back to back.
Yeah, again.
The only thing
no
I'm
idea how many
concerned
that
about,
was.
I'm not actually worried because they lost to Monka. I'm worried because even in that Plague Fall, they still just had like a 30-second time loss. And Monka is a team that will punish that every single time. If you're gonna throw them 30 seconds, they're gonna beat you. And then and normally we talk about this whenever we're talking about Echo. Echo, if you throw them 30 seconds, they're gonna beat you. But Monka is the team that's also on that same level where it's like if you give them an inch, they are going to take it and they are going to run with it the whole entire time.
Yeah, I mean, keep in mind, this is best of 5 as well. So there's going to be lots of opportunity to go back and forth. And on top of that, the first map is going to be Necrotic Wake, which no team has played yet this weekend. And it's a 25. It's huge. It's going to be a terrifying map. So
Scary perspective.
It's going to be a wild start. We're going to look at the maps right now. We don't know the bands quite yet, but as you can see, grand finals, best of 5, starting with that 25 Necrotic Wake. Pretty terrifying, isn't it, Mix?
It is. So just looking at these dungeons, I'm wondering like what these teams are going to ban. I kind of count on Echo taking out the halls once more. Then I wonder where Monka is going to go and be like, yeah, we don't want to play this. What do you guys think?
There's 2 possibilities here. One is Monka takes out Theater of Pain, right? That's I think a pretty solid Echo looking really strong in that specific map thing. The other is, are you worried about Halls of Atonement as a grand finals silver bullet? Echo's been banning it all weekend. Are they banning it because they're actually 7 minutes faster in there?
Yeah,
they have just like a 2-minute Halls of Atonement that they've been saving in reserve.
You're
just
not
for the grand
saving it.
finals.
I think it's a mistake. I think it's a mistake.
That's quite that, but that thought has to be crossing your head if you're Monka, looking at this map, right? You've got to be somewhat worried that that's what's happening. I mean, clearly, Womegalol had some worry about that as well because they banned the halls in match 13, right? And
I love me some
me just thinking, is it safe? Are we going to get owned here?
I tend to think they got baited by that. I tend to think they could have banned the Plague Fall, but we'll see. We'll see what Monka's perspective on it is, because you could be right, but I think I would rather ban them on a map that I know they have an extremely good route on that's been hard to replicate than roll the dice and be like, well, maybe they have a great HOA. I don't know.
I mean,
I
it
don't
would
know.
be kind of an Echo thing to do, right? Where they have like a really specific strat for a dungeon that they haven't shown thus far.
Well,
I mean, there are no Plague Forest in HOA, but we don't know what they're up to. They
The
have
reason-
some big brains, so
Yeah.
could be some secret HOA tech that we don't know. Snapping some gargoyles, or I don't know.
Pull all the shards. We're back to that,
The-
maybe. Bring back
the general
Druid?
ban.
No.
The general ban philosophy behind Halls of Atonement is normally because like the dungeon is so volatile. It's also like necrotic on this set of affixes.
Yeah,
it's a
it's not
dungeon that
fun.
you. It's like a dungeon that you can easily throw away if you're not playing absolutely perfect on. And like, why would you 50-50 a dungeon? Is generally the ban philosophy behind it. So it would make sense if again Echo just wanted to ban it because they didn't think that they were that good on it. But in the same point, Spires of Ascension is in this map pool, and I don't even think they're 50-50 in Spires of Ascension. I think that they're like, I think that they're probably like 40-60 or something like that. I think that Monka is favored in that dungeon.
Spires at the end of the pool,
What?
though, so it's you only
Yeah.
get there if it's a game 5, right? Although,
So banning it is bad, right? Yeah.
well, that does hurt some of the value of banning. On the other hand, if you get to a game 5, it's the pivotal game, so I don't know. It's a very, very complicated pick ban or ban phase on this maps, and so many games potentially here. The fact that we're going to a best 5 with teams of this level is going to be so exciting as well, because I don't know who is benefiting from more games here. I really don't know which team is.
You know what's
going
funny?
to be better on this length.
Who's coming
of
first?
series.
Am I gonna log on first?
I'm having
and be
flashbacks
that
to
healer?
last season where we had Astra versus Echo, and Astra and Echo both just like 50-50 like the best times across the whole entire weekend, and we were super unsure going into it as well. I'm having flashbacks.
I was
I feel
booting
like
up.
we're
I was
just
gonna
right
say,
back there
invite
again,
me.
where it's like,
Or
oh, these teams
suggest
are
an
really
invite.
just gonna split the dungeons, and we're gonna end up in a really final game situation once more.
I mean, it's a good thing, right? I mean, I feel like esports in general has a curse, a long-standing curse of one-sided grand finals, no matter what game it is. So it's great to go into something where it really looks like it's going to go the distance. It looks like it's going to be really close, and we're going to find out how close it's going to be, because after this break, and it will be again a slightly longer one, because we want to give Echo a chance to kind of warm up a little bit again, to get ready for Monka, give them a chance to catch their breath.
Well, then I can
going
always
into this
play
one, we'll be back in a little while, I mean, like 10 minutes or less, I would say, for the grand finals, best of 5 here at the Mythic Dungeon
Is it bad
International
that
Global
even though I got
Finals. It
Dark
is going to
Iron,
be amazing. Monka taking
I
on
don't know
Echo
if
for that
I
huge,
want-
huge $150,000 prize for first.
I have a
You
free
do not
level up
want to
with the
miss it.
expansion.
The MDI season concludes
And
right
I also
after
have
the
a
short
60
break.
Druid and a 60 Pally and a 60 Shaman. So I'm wondering if I want to wait for the expansion to use it. Because I'm not going to level it. I'm not going to like gear it out. There's no fucking point. It's literally meant for like an alt in the expansion. So I'm not entirely sure if I know what race I want, which is why I want to delay. I'm not sure if I want to like open up Void Elves and shit like that. Because I only have Dark Iron, but that seems like superior, like in every category. Dark Iron was pretty lame to get, to be honest. That was kind of ass. But I also just don't know. I just don't know what I would want other than. I also don't know what I would want to be class-wise. I'm not sure if I want a second healer and just be like a fucking high IO healer and just have like the second best, or like technically if the first best is something different than that in a priest. What was that? Oh, bye. What you doing? I'm just watching MDI and J at the same time on my split. What do you mean? It might have been Time Walking Week. No, because that would have just been normal dungeons. Maybe, I don't know. Dragonflight Beta might be out. Yeah, but they're, you know, for Dragonflight, they're bringing back old. They're switching up the dungeons so that you can have more old expansion dungeons in the cycle. I think they even said they were gonna have like 2 of different expansions. So like Legion, Warlords of Draenor, BFA, and then I don't know, Shadowlands. But they were saying how they wanted to split it that way, so there's more incentive to do old content and have it like actually mastered for Mythics. Now, which ones? Yo, holy fuck! That is like the coolest fucking thing I've seen. Oh my god. On Theater of Pain, the platform, right? You know when you go on platforms and shit? They got WoW. I don't know what they did other than that, but they got WoW, got on the second platform, jumped to the Bone Reaver, jumped off the platform with WoW to the Bone Reaver, and that's mine. On my Twitch or YouTube, either one. This is MDI. But like that's such a fucking crazy skip. I never even considered it. And you skip like 3 platforms. You go to the second platform with the 2 Magus, they pull, they jump off, go to the Bone Reaver, which is the second to last platform. Snap it to there, pull the entire platform on it, AoE it down with the Bone Reaver. That's so fucking wild. Never in my life would I have considered jumping off with WoW. Like, how do they... I want to see what they... Oh, you don't have a healer. On the bright side, everything should die really fast. Everyone's popping wreck. What is that weak aura that you have? For next to the party frames, there are major cooldowns. Is that Omni? Maybe I just have it set. I probably have a different setting though. Looks like a buff, but I don't know. I'm not sure. Is that duration? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it prioritizes which one. Yeah, just gonna say fucking. You're just fucking enjoying it, having a holler right now. This is one of the nuttier balls I've seen. They get whoa. Huh? Are you talking to me or are you talking to Jay? Or talking to both? Okay. Well, no, I was just wondering because I wasn't sure if you were talking to me saying we were going to play with Jay. I don't know what you're saying. I'm lost. Jay, pop cooldown. Pop all defensive. All defensive. Last stand. Bandage. Did that hit? Miles, I have a personal question for you. Are you the type to be able to stay on the phone with like either a girl you're interested in or just like a friend in general for a super long time? Yeah. I was telling Jay, I was like, bro, I feel like a dick now. I feel like I can't be on the phone longer than like 30 minutes. 30 minutes is my cap, and then I have to be like, I'm leaving. I have to go away. I'm sorry. I can't talk. I can't. Maybe I'm boring, and that's fine with me. But Jesus, maybe I just don't have anything to talk about, Jay. Everything's that. Maybe I'm a dumb fuck. It's possible. I don't think there's a lot of correlation, but it's possible. You have to go to the one. Wait, do Ellie Shamans decurse? No, it's on Restos. Yeah, you're worthless other than that, bro. Other than Bloodlust, but there's 2 other classes that would rather Bloodlust for you than you. I would say like you're the king right for this week when it comes to decurses. So any decurse, which is what, Sanguine and Halls, you're prioed over me for those ones this week. I just can't fucking deal with them. Just go to or go to your warrior. See what I'm saying? Okay, good talk. That was a solid, reasonable. Why? Did it stress you out? Why then? Fair. I figured out when everyone's always like Kel'Thas, Azerlon, and Ragnaros, they're like, I can't. They're like, I cannot play with those servers. I'm like, bro, that's all I have to play with. Like, that's all I got. Because everyone on Tyke and Illidan and Area 52, they're all starting like when I'm going to bed.
Welcome everyone. This is it,
How are
the
you letting me
grand
beat you,
finals of the
Jay?
Mythic Dungeon International for Shadowlands Season 3. I'm your host, Doa. With me for the grand finals are Tettles, Nagura, and
How are you letting
Zyronic.
him
And
beat
we
you?
have an incredible match. It's Monka versus Echo. Echo trying to go. They already went back to back to back
I've
to
watched
back
animes, okay?
MDI
You
championships,
should
trying
know,
to add a
as
5th
long
in
as
a
you-
row, which
as
would
long
be
as you
incredible.
try,
But
you'll
Monka
always
just
succeed.
earlier today sent them down to the lower bracket. They had to battle their way back up with a win over Womegalol. They made it.
Through the
Here
power of
they are,
friendship,
but
you will succeed.
this is anything but decided. This is anybody's finals at this point. Isn't that right, Nagura?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Monka just looked incredible earlier on when they won against Echo. But then Echo, of
That's banger. It was a good fucking chunk. Oh. Chips and salsa. Oh, did you wreck? I was about to say he wrecked too. You guys are all gonna die. I'll be right back.
The update that I have right now is the fiance of an employee decided to badger me on Instagram, making fun of the things that I sold during COVID to stay afloat. I'm actually very proud of that, so there's...
What? What'd you say? Oh, you're gonna do that 15 other side for your vault? Oh, look at you. Moving on up. Killing it. Why? You want me to unmute? You want me to unmute Discord? Mister? Using non-2022 words, okay? The fact that you yourself just identified it as a slur says a lot, okay? you wish I would say slurs? Is that what you wish? Stop. Hey, bro. I feel like I feel like you're projecting your guilt right now. Because I accept you for you, buddy. Flaws and all, okay? You're my best bud. Yeah, I accept you, but I'll criticize you as well, okay? I have no problem criticizing you. Everything, okay? For everything. Your blonde mustache, that. I know. You should, but it wouldn't be blonde. Have you grown a mustache ever? Is it because it's blonde? Oh. Is that your boyfriend? Asserting the dominance. Yes, absolutely. You read my mind. I'll put it on stream too. And I'll literally just shit talk you the whole time. Is that cool? Okay. I can. You're at 150 ping, you oceanic? Fuck it. Pump, pump, pump. Damn, dude, you're going 18K, almost 20K. I thought you were actually gonna eat yourself over that. I was like, Jesus, he's getting real fast. I was like, he's going real fast over there, just jumping off right next to ledges and shit. Oh, that's how it's supposed to be. Going Ardenwald. Let's see if you can watch the swirls on the floor. It's not fortified, so you shouldn't be too worried. Are you Knife A or Carrion? Don't even stop. Don't even hesitate. Look at that. Poggers, dude. Yeah, your. It's on your LVY. Yeah. Curse. 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 Oh, oh. You're gonna earn it. They're earning it. Oh. You're gonna get stormed. I wish I could cast and heal and run at the same time. How base would that be? It's actually weird as how it didn't despawn after hitting you. That's the weird part. It actually just kept running. Oh, are you gonna... You're just running in Sanguine base, dude? That's fucking poggers. That healing for that Sanguine is gonna be high. There's definitely some kid out of a shaman I would love to have. How much does Earth Shield actually heal him for? Amplifies your heals on him? Is there any cooldown for it or not? That's pretty based. Is your water shield stacks like it used to be or no? Or is it just like a permanent buff? Oh. You're going for it, dude. I can see you. You're pumping. You're just out there. You're actually just beating everybody on the gym. I wish I could do that just casually. But I mean, you just do so much more damage. Generally. I mean, my burst, I don't even think my burst would peak your burst. Your burst is fucking high as shit with your totems and your chain lightning. Oh, he's going. Oh, look at these decurses. Look at all of them. They're dying right as you start casting like 3 times in a row. There's I think probably close to all, if not 80% of my macros for my spells, like offensively, are always target to target. So like I always just like target my teammates or the tank, and then I'll let him dictate who I do damage to. Or if I'm like trying to like burst something down, I'll target a DPS and just spam my shit. Probably not. I mean, you technically, yeah, but if you shouldn't, because you should have it by the last boss. Yeah. When happens, what do you spam? Or if you do? It's the CDR one. Close one. Had me sweating. I hate how you can cast while moving. I'm like, well, yeah, I guess that's it. Because I was like seeing you in the air casting. I was like, get the fuck out of here, bro. I was like, get the fuck out of here. I'm over here as a priest, like trying to fucking pop every instant I have. Make sure I know which ones are on cooldown, how to reduce them so that shit like that doesn't happen. Mount during this thing, by the way, if you know you can do, yeah. It's like the sickest thing. I didn't know that for the longest time. Dude, your cat probably wants to fight you. You might do more. Yeah, they're starting back. Or maybe not. I don't know. Are they? Normally you guys do like 5. Yeah, they're doing the woe and then they're gonna take that up. Oh yeah, Jay, guess who I talked to yesterday? Mr. Hood Gay. Yeah, I told him. No, I think he moved down to Chula Vista or something. Or National City, somewhere way more south than where he used to. But yeah, I told him, he was like, bro, I'm 300 off of KSM. And I was like, you want to push Wednesday? He's like, sure. I'll literally get you into any key you need. Did you get another report? Oh. I can see how that would probably make you scared. Is that it? Do you tell people to call you Giga Daddy? Or Chatty? He's not. You can't. Unless you guys earn it, but there's probably not gonna happen. You guys are probably still gonna earn it, even though it's not even fortified. At you, I think? No, he's up the stairs. That step still. I want to know your average at the end for your damage, your overall damage, but it has to be at the end. So I genuinely wonder if I'm even comparable to Shami's damage. I want to know if I'm comparable to a Resto Shamans, and you do pretty good damage. So. Yeah, but I have like. Yeah, it's up like if I'm doing it right, it's like it's a 1 minute cooldown. So I get the chance to do it a lot. Let's see if you got this. You're just making more damage for yourself. Is Chainline an even decent single target or no? Yeah, it's a little bit. Oh yeah, man. I was just wondering, like boss fights. He's gonna die. What does a cloud burst totem do? Oh damn. This is your moment. This is where you pop off. This is a 40k DPS. Careful of the riot, they're gonna all blow up. Don't let anybody die. It doesn't. I went back to a Mythic Plus timer. That way I can actually see who the fuck died, including me when I'm a dumb fuck. That is a lot of time off that well. That fucking Warlock is pumping, dude. Hey, you should be in good. You wanna know a weird trick? Or not trick, but a weird, like, unintentional, I don't think the way they designed it type shit. The slimes before the crossover. So you're about to cross. Those ones, if you ever aggro them, they'll snap to anywhere else. So, like, one of our guys was trying to death skip because I was past this. And he died to him, and they snapped to where I was. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, like we weren't anywhere near. I was in this tunnel, and he died over by the slimes, and he just fucking, they insta snapped to me and just killed me. I was like, that's amazing. I've heard. Jay said that. I haven't seen him be like substantially better. That might just be for an affix week. It might not be because of anything specific. It might just be because for like what are the two right now? Storming and Sanguine. Yeah, I don't know what would cause that to be better. I don't think there's like a healing debuff or a pushback. Did they get? I didn't see them get buffed, but I also don't pay attention to any other class other than me. Oh, the hunter about to die. Is that a rogue? That's a rogue, not a hunter. Dude, I hate the text that all your unit frames are on. It's called homespun. It's fucking actually just illegible. You should practice getting right next to her, because if you click it, it'll hold the cast even if they're out of range. You just have to click it before it's out of range. Yeah, I'm like 99% sure you're gonna be like probably like 6 to 8K average. Your Ardenwald fucking quarter did a lot. It does a chain heal, or that's 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 fucking broken. Oh yeah, I would say. What's Vesper do? Hmm. Dude, that's fucking based. Wow, it's kind of busted. So it just mimics in a way, or it spreads. That's kind of busted. That seems like not the best. You were gonna die. Dude, is literally the biggest cock block when that shit happens, bro. It's so hard to see him. It's where that lightning bolt looks like chain lightning now, because it's a. I don't know. Yeah, that sends it. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, it looks like it. You can actually just skip that, by the way. You just go left. You don't have to shroud past. Dispel hex. Your warlock was. I think they can only dispel off themselves. Yeah, Jay might. I don't. I'm pretty sure monks have a ability that takes a magic. You're so good. Well, I mean, warlock could too as well. Oh, it's a pretty solid run. Yeah. Didn't even share it. Is Anixia do you that dirty? Or is Gig Dad on what server are you on? That's Anixia? Oh yeah, I think it's probably true. Frostmourne, Area 52. Frostmourne, I think Frostmourne is Oceanic. I can look up, hold up. It is an Oceanic. So how far when the Sons of Akar bring it to the tank, because you want to have them die all relatively close to each other, and then obviously range 5 just so that it doesn't spread. And then when he does this shield shit, that blood barrage, now you're gonna want to move after those things die. Yeah. He's going backwards. Oh, that's interesting. I normally take him out into the open area, not the closed area. Yeah, when he takes a fat shield, that blood barrier shit, he does a massive amount of AoE, so that's gonna be like a really intensive until you break the shield. Can your cloud burst, cloud whatever, and Vesper can those be LOS, or is that not LOSable? No. Hmm. But Cloudburst, it doesn't really matter. So let's say you put the Cloudburst where the tank was heading to, right? Like he was heading towards the back, and you put it right where he was, and he brought it back out to the front. Would that Cloudburst need to be repositioned? Oh yeah, show me your overall so far. Show me your overall damage. That's the last page. That one, overall data. Okay, so I'm pretty decent. You still beat me, but I think you're definitely a superior class when it comes to DPS, 1,000,000%. I average anywhere from like... You mean AoE DPS? You definitely, yeah, you guys are. But I also think you're better at AoE. Get out of the orb. And then dance. Dance, baby, dance.
There is a fundamental lie, I think, in how leftists depict conversations about gender and sex in humanist academic spaces, and that lie has been part of a longer process of denying transgender people's self-understandings while using our stories and identities to uphold their theories of gender, even when transgender people continually reject them. I thought this might be useful to your historical understanding of how queer theory understandings of gender, in part, became normalized as the only leftist/queer way to understand the topic. Mind you, I'm not even a transmedicalist per se, yet I get called transphobic or told I don't understand queer understandings of gender in chats if I challenge the contemporary conversations around gender. I hate people claiming they're coming from a place of ignorance when, in truth, I'm aware of some essential pieces of literature that challenge it. I thought that was interesting. But the frustrating thing is, I know, I'm pretty sure what that Pearl Brain guy is going to argue, because I think you need some dysphoria to be trans. I'm pretty sure that what he's going to do is he's going to say, well, look at what the APA says. They say it's not important. And he's just going to throw that one sentence on the APA at me for like a however many minute conversation is what it's going to be.
Does Bloodlust have a range?
I could appeal to the ridiculousness of
no, it doesn't. It looks like
relying on only the APA's opinion here, given that the APA in the last version of the DSM literally said that being trans is a mental illness, full stop, I think. But
10.5%
what do the buttons on the ice here do?
Send it, baby, send it.
Don't you think a trans person without dysphoria would just detransition anyway? Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know what. No.
Have to do
it prevents the spawning of mobs. Okay. Does that mean you are a true scum? I think so. True scum or a transmedicalist or something. How do you feel about the overwhelming majority of the field of psychology being cis women? Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. Probably not a good thing. Because you're probably going to get, like, just how we need women in some male-dominated space, you probably need more men in women-dominated spaces.
You killed all the totems.
It reminds me of I think I've brought this up a few times.
He finishes at 10.5 and he has an absurd amount of HP, so there's
people will tell you that,
I don't think you
psychology is incredibly valuable because it lets us study the mind of like the 18 to 24-year-old white affluent college student.
Maybe. But I think even a lower
how much psych
like
research starts and sometimes
tens of millions.
He
has like tens of millions
of
HP.
Of college
because like each of the Botswani,
because that's where it's easiest to like survey people.
Do like
yeah, it's an interesting
20 mil off him or something, or 10 mil off him. So it's like accounting for all four. You're trying to say you're gonna compensate for like 15.
Oh mil. Yeah, it's the weird demographics. Western, educated, industrialized, rich, and democratic. Destiny, can you
get back to the United States?
Unplant these. You're gonna continue with your OSRS Iron Man? No, I'm a Melvor player now.
Yeah, I don't go.
Destiny, stop saying this dumb shit that you're transmedicalist. I don't know if you need to write you a long email where I pretend to be a trans person or something, but you're falling into a trap label by what crazy trans.
I didn't see you use Blood Fury. I didn't see Blood Fury used once there.
I'm taking it back.
I know.
Just like Porch.
Because that ass fucking racial. I get it.
Maybe, I don't know.
It's not though.
A few of the trans people that emailed me said that they considered themselves like transmedicalists or true scum. I don't know if those labels are escapable because like if I go into a conversation with like the activist trans person, I say no, I wouldn't say I'm like a transmedicalist.
I don't know that.
Like, oh,
I've actually wanted to inquire.
Do you think that not everybody can be trans? Do you think that it's like yeah, probably. Okay, you are a transmedicalist. You're just lying and hiding.
Maybe.
It. So I think I feel like I'd rather just own
it.
the label.
I think it has to do with physical damage, but I don't know how much physical damage because it's a 10% damage reduction. For physical damage, but physical damage only. So any elemental
think I could
damage,
ever do-
nature, all that, any of that doesn't get reduced.
Can't even.
But I don't know how
don't even
and
know
how
if I
often
can
are
say the
healers
joke.
getting fucking meleeed physically. But like AOE stuff, maybe there's a lot more physical AOE that I'm unaware of, like shards from
can't-
halls.
I really want to get
like
into
thrashes from.
I really want to get into a fight with a black person online.
From mist.
And we just
stuff
go
like
back
that. I don't
and
know if
forth
those
on
are
Twitter.
all.
And it's pretty clear we're never.
They
gonna
are.
agree.
It makes sense. Why?
And then at
'Cause
some
there's
point I
more
tweet out, you
physical
know what?
things to worry about.
Actually,
frontal
hold on.
cones are all going to be
And then
physical.
my next tweet is like "fuck you" N-word, but it's a code tweet with like 2 mad, so technically it's okay. But I'm pretty sure that would just be way too fucking edgy. I don't think I could ever do that. I think it'd be too much. But it would be a talked about tweet.
I have seen all the top priests though. They're
It would be a talked about.
Doesn't make any
tweet.
sense to me.
Jesus.
But you know. It doesn't make any sense to me, to be honest. When we were,
It would be too close.
faction
There were also
changing,
like I had
was
like 2 or
pretty
3
sure I
like
picked
really
the
good
right
tweets
one.
yesterday. Did I ever say any of these? What I wanted to tweet yesterday? One was gonna be because my shotgun finally came in. I think the first one was gonna be what was it? It was like noticed a lot of you guys making fun of my manifesto yesterday, and then a picture of my new shotgun. And then the second one that I considered was
One's
gonna be
bigger?
everybody saying my manifesto sucked.
One has bigger.
But they haven't
hammers,
seen chapter
that's it,
6
but-
yet. And then a picture of my shot. But I'm pretty sure either of those would have gotten me instantly permabanned, so I don't think it would have been worth it. Because of the mass shootings,
Why?
everything that's happened recently. Damn. How's this
I
guy's
thought the
shit
worst
fucking
one
glowing?
was the Mr. Pandaria one. You know what I'm talking about?
This motherfucker's so
The Shaw.
many.
That's it. I've heard that one's.
Who's
like
got?
the most
Do we have a lot of
cancerous, 'cause
emeralds
it's once
somewhere?
a week.
Why did I have a lot of emeralds?
It's a rare
in my other
spawn.
Minecraft server? Oh, because you can sell things to
And then-
villagers for emeralds.
Like so.
Wait, why are you supposed to close the door when you're done?
The Dread Week. My favorite right now is Squeakers. I can imagine that 2%
Baby
crit is
zombies,
actually pretty
gotcha.
pretty impactful. Because it's damage and healing.
God, what was the last server I played on with? Was it Mr. Mooten or with Jade? Where you I had every villager with every good enchant, but it was a nightmare getting them all. Oh my god.
Obama.
Are we gonna become a battle pet person?
Have there been any mass shootings with
Why
shotguns?
don't you get ranked
I don't
in
think
that?
so. Oh, I will say,
Yeah,
because
battle
of the
pets.
implication.
true. I don't know if this is soy or what, but I
Try to get
really
into the
do feel
scene
like
and be
one of the
like,
coolest
yo,
parts of like
I'm actually, like,
firearms
top 1%
is
battle
reloading.
pet.
I don't know why. I always said that's why I like that the Mosin Nagant so much. There's just something real cool about cranking back the bolt.
I don't
And,
like
having
them.
the
They're so
fucking shit
boring.
flat is like awesome. This shotgun that I just got is the first. I believe I think it's
I
called
feel
a
like it
break
has to be a
action,
pay to win.
where you break it in half basically. You put shells in.
Yeah.
Fuck, it looks so cool.
Keep hating your life then, working class Andy.
Philosophy is astrology for boys.
True. Not reloading your shotgun.
Yeah,
with a
wait,
Terminator.
what?
I think it
This
might be
is-
technically
Dark Iron's
possible,
way
but
better.
kind of dangerous and not
Damage.
a good idea.
My passive is damage reduced taken by physical attacks 1%. You're telling me I have a permanent stone form?
Flips.
That's fucking based.
Is there any influence from video games to your love of guns? Yeah, I mean, I bought the Mosin Nagant because of DayZ.
Yeah, I'm sure that's
I bought the
a
Glock just
factor.
because I think everybody says like Glocks are just like the most ruthlessly reliable good guns. And I
'Cause
wanted
it's
to
not
buy,
like the
a
other
carry.
ones are like terrible.
Although it prints like crazy because I'm small and it's fucking huge. But I was gonna buy a Jericho. Is it a Jericho 941? Am I making that up? Because I think this is what Spike uses this firearm in Cowboy Bebop. But I think it's not a good. I think it's not that great of a handgun. but I almost bought one because why not? Have you ever wanted to buy a rifle? I kind of wanted to do like a sick AR-15 build, but shooting, it's disappointing, but shooting AR-15s is not that fun. I don't know how to explain it. They're very easy to fire, and when one is decked out enough, they're like not very challenging firearms to shoot. They're just like, if you've ever fired like most 5.56 rifles, they feel like pea shooters, like pew, 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 pew. Like because the gun, it's a good fire. If you wanted to kill a lot of people, I would get an AR-15 because they're very reliable.
Peace
they
out, guys.
Are very accurate. When you throw like a red dot or a hollow sight on that shit, like you can get like somebody with no firearm experience, whatever, will just be like nailing targets at like 50 yards. Like, oh, cool. You literally just get the red dot to line up everything and pull, and there's no recoil whatsoever on the fire. Like it's.
I'll be right back. Oh my lord, I'm cracking the back. Oh god, I'm dying.